What's up, everybody? So, not a lot of gaming news out there this week, but we still managed to scrape together some interesting news for you, starting with Xbox possibly adding an ad tier to their newly shuffled Game Pass offering.
Called it.
I can't help but think they're getting all their ideas from companies like Netflix, but eventually, I think they'll find out they don't have nearly enough brand cash once everything is said and done.
Protecting your business from cyber attacks can be unrelenting. With CrowdStrike, you get AI-powered threat protection, industry-leading intelligence, and a team of experts to detect threats and prevent breaches before they happen.
CrowdStrike is really feeling the heat after giving us a real-life example of why always online just might be the death of us all.
Your clothes, give them to me.
And what's their attempt to thank their partners and teammates? Gift cards.
A gift card?
No, you don't have to adjust your volume. You heard that right. If you're not familiar with the situation, CrowdStrike is a cybersecurity firm that provides software to Microsoft along with industries like banking, retail, and healthcare, and through a faulty update, brought the companies they service to a screeching halt. Needless to say, it's not looking good. Lastly, SAG-AFTRA is preparing to strike. We talked about this months ago when they were seeking to represent voice talent, mocap, stuntmen and women in the gaming industry. Here we are almost a year later, and it's looking like the same situation as the one that happened in Hollywood. That's what we got for you today, with a little more sprinkled throughout, and the brightest minds on YouTube have joined me to give their expert analysis. Welcome to the Couch Consumer live stream. So it's not food discussions today. It's got a little more heavy.
Yeah.
A little more heavy.
Well,
I decided just to talk about my daughter's car getting stolen, and then we got on Netflix and how I'm mad at them for not letting my, because two of my kids are in college. Well, my daughter graduated yesterday, so technically
Dope.
she's got her master's.
Congratulations. Awesome.
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I remember when
And-
we
Started
first
talking
started.
Credit cards.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I was like, Netflix is, wrong for not letting us share our passwords when they're in college,
Mhm.
and we live in two different spots. And then we got on the whole debt thing and credit cards. And I was like, well, they're jokes on them because I don't have any credit cards to pay.
Yeah. But I
Not falling
remember
for that trap again.
Speaking
Right.
of, like, as far as streaming services go, I'm actually seriously considering canceling Prime. I'm getting really annoyed. Really, really, really annoyed with these commercials.
Yeah, it's making me mad. My daughter was like, how much is it to not have commercials? And I was like, if you want to pay it, go for it. And she goes, I cannot have commercials. And I was like, well, then pay for it.
Well,
Like,
how much does it cost to have to not have commercials? Either $0 or whatever they want to charge you.
yeah.
One or
Like
the other.
right now they're like, oh, it's only $1.99 a month. And I'm like, oh yeah, for now.
yeah,
In the next 6 months, it's going to be $20 to
Yeah.
have ad free.
everyone's
it's only
copying Netflix's
$1.99.
homework for some
If you're
reason.
gonna tell me if you're gonna talk to me like that, say it's only $1.99. Why don't you pay for it, Netflix? Why don't you pay for it, Amazon? You got way more money than I do. Stop being greedy jerks.
Exactly. I
Like
hate that.
I'm watching Clarkson's Farm yesterday, and I've been really digging this show. I love this show.
Yeah.
Farming show, and I said digging. Anyway, in the middle of a sentence, not even like, how there's certain beats in a TV show where they're about to change scenes. It's
Mhm.
a good time for like a commercial.
Yep.
You don't do it in the middle of a freaking sentence. So I have to remember the first part of the sentence after your stupid ass commercial for a show I will never watch. And then I have to remember what he was saying after the words.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Go stop that, please. Stop it. Just stop.
Yep.
But I'm leaning towards, I'm done with Prime. I'm going to watch the rest of Clarkson's Farm, and then I'm done with Prime for now.
Well, do you use any
This is
of their like mail services, like order
Not
online
enough
or
to
anything?
justify it anymore. Not since
Really?
post-pandemic. I don't really use Prime that much anymore.
Gotcha. Did you use it a lot before the pandemic?
No.
Huh.
I mean, I know some people use. It depends on how you classify a lot.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I
True.
mean, if you're ordering multiple things from Amazon a week, would you consider that a lot? Like,
Yeah.
where's your frame of reference here?
Frame of reference is like what? Like you said, do you have household items that you order off of there every
No.
week? Do you
no,
have?
no. I don't supplement my regular shopping with it. I get stuff that I can't easily get from a retail store.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So okay. what's your cadence of use? Like, do you use it once every few months?
Maybe once a month, once a month and a half, maybe like once every 2 months, around there.
Okay. All right. Right on.
But I mean, that works for me. There are some
Yeah.
people that, I mean, if you use it, if you rely on it, and there's nothing wrong with that. If
Right.
it works for you, then
Yeah.
it might be more worthwhile for you.
Mhm.
But I have other subscription services that I don't have to watch commercials for, and
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Right. So
Mhm.
I think I'm done with it.
Right
Honestly, it's just not a value to me anymore. Especially, and I wouldn't be discussing this if it wasn't for these stupid ads.
Yeah. It wouldn't have got to you, right? If they didn't have the ads, you'd be just using it. It's like, all right, whatever. But the ads, you're like, screw this. It's
The
paying too
pre-rolls
much.
are fine. Honestly, I don't have a problem with the pre-rolls, but cutting in the middle of a sentence to a commercial for a show that I have absolutely zero interest in, just pisses me off.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
And
I
I'm
mean-
not putting up with that.
It's true. I feel
It's
I
not
feel Nos
funny,
on this
but-
so much, but I hardly ever watch anything on Prime anymore.
Mhm.
Like I really enjoyed Fallout. I've enjoyed a couple
Yes.
of their other shows that they've done, and it's worth it to me because I do have like monthly subscriptions that come from Prime.
Mhm.
So, like, because I practically have an animal shelter in my house. So some stuff's cheaper, to get on Amazon and things like that. But literally, once they started the commercials, I haven't touched Prime Video
Ooh,
Like, at all.
wow.
at all.
That's
Like,
nuts.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I watched the day that I noticed that they had commercials, and my daughter said something about it,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Well, you pay for the no commercials." But yeah, and that was it. I haven't touched it since because I was like, I'm not doing it. Like,
Yeah.
I pay a big amount of money a year for this,
Mhm.
and I'm not adding to it. I like that I get Twitch for free. I like that I have access to Prime Gaming. Some stuff like I really enjoy,
Yeah.
bonus stuff for games or free games and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
to me, it's worth it to have it. If the price goes up, I don't know.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Right on. Let's go ahead and do the introductions. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Couch Consumer live stream. We've got GG back, Gamer Geek. I want to call him Lawrence Kennedy for some reason.
My Leon Kennedy.
Leon Lawrence.
Yeah.
Lawrence
Wow.
Kennedy's his brother.
Leon Kennedy makes her week. Goodness gracious, welcome back, gamer. And we've got Nos, the indie boss. That one was just so much easier to say. I got to come up
Yes.
with something shorter for you,
His
gamer.
flow's good. I don't even know, like a tag.
Right.
figure.
But you
We'll
got something that rhymes with Gigi. So
Mm.
that's your newish nickname.
Yes.
Mm.
I mean,
GG,
like
I know,
either
right?
Geek or GG. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think on it.
Gamer, GG, Geek. You know,
I
you
answer
got
to
3
it all.
monikers. Look at you. Oh my gosh.
I
But
have to be extra apparently.
but we've got a ridiculous so after everything breaking, it happened, I want to say Friday, where the SAG-AFTRA agreed to go on strike to represent the game industry. That just happened. I had to change the whole thumbnail and the description and title, and I was like, oh god, this is ridiculous. And so that's probably going to be our main one because the implications are super crazy. But something we talked about on the live stream, it's been a continuous thing about ad tiers in gaming, how they want to introduce them. It looks like Xbox is moving closer and closer to making that happen. And then the last one we have is the CrowdStrike and the implications of that. That one's really, really crazy. It doesn't affect gaming so much, but Microsoft, Xbox, they go hand in hand. Have we heard anything about the blue screen of death affecting Xbox consoles or Game Pass or anything like that, Xbox Cloud? Because I haven't seen it say anything like that.
I haven't heard of it.
Mm.
I was so busy in Colorado, like I didn't
Mhm.
even realize like the hack happened
Gotcha. Yeah.
until like
Mhm.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
But
So no $10 gift card for you then.
no, right? Like here's your $10. You can get like half of a DLC. Like, geez.
That's
No, it
hilarious.
was only for Uber Eats, I think.
Right.
Mhm.
It's like people that
Yeah.
the teammates and their I can't remember, but yeah, it was only for people who were working on fixing the issue. They're like, hey, go get you a burger or something. It's like, this burger is it's $13. I only have a $10 gift card.
All right.
It's like, come on.
So on top of all that, it didn't work after a while. The voucher was invalid or
That's
it was
right.
canceled.
Like it got
Oh.
flagged as fraud by GitHub, or I'm gonna say
Or,
GitHub
Uber, no, not GitHub.
Uber,
By
yes.
I think Uber Eats. Yeah,
or
that's
something.
just
I can't
insult to
remember.
injury.
Very much
Great
so.
job.
I know.
Great job, guys.
Great. Just
Just killing it.
high
with public
marks all
relations.
around. They
Yes.
did such a good job.
You should have just done nothing. You should have just said, "We're sorry.
Right?
We're gonna do what we can to fix this issue, and do what we can to prevent this going forward."
Yeah.
Not here's an insultingly small amount of recompense
Right on.
And-
for all of your difficulty
Now-
and all of your
And it'll
inconvenience.
last for an hour.
Now hold all that. Hold all that. We'll get to that. But first, we've got trailers. We're going to
Ooh.
continue this trend of going.
Yes.
I do want to kind of preface this with one of the trailers. It's been out since August 2018. However, I just came across this and I thought it looked cool, so I wanted to include it in it. Once I found out it was from 2018, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to include it or not. I already had the script written, so whatever. We're gonna look at that one too.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like, GTA 6, we've been talking about that for like the last 10 years. So,
That's very true.
don't
Yeah.
worry about it being from 2018.
Right on. All right. So shall we? Oh wait, I even have. Yes, I do. Professional, everybody.
We're tired
Professional.
this Saturday.
All right. Should we? Let's get into our first trailer real quick.
right. Ah, there we go.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh,
Goodness. He said, don't kill me.
who's that?
Oh, they're friends now. Yay.
All right. What do we think about
that
this
looks-
one?
That looks intense.
So this one here, this one is coming from GameSpire, and the name of the game is Scum. And apparently it's been out since 2018, but it looks really freaking good. I like it. I like it a lot.
It really does look good.
Yeah.
What
Might have
type
to
of
check that
game
out.
is this?
It's a open world survival. At least that's
Oh,
how
it's an
it's
MMO. Okay.
Yeah.
I do like open world and survivals. I don't necessarily like teamwork. I can't believe that. I didn't see they had his hands tied at first.
Like, I wonder what the story is. I couldn't find. Okay, so I don't have a Steam account. Well, I did, but I forgot my login information and stuff, so I can't get in. But it is on Steam, and so I couldn't get
I'm laughing because you know the number of. I went through a period of time where I always had to keep like changing my Steam account password.
Yes.
And every single time I wanted to log into it, I had to change my password again. And I went on for like a year.
I'm not gonna lie. I eventually on my phone made like a password list, and of course I password protected it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then forgot the password.
Mm-hmm.
But I have since remedied that. But now I have like a little list that's locked that always has all of my passwords in it because I will forget, and eventually things are gonna go bad. I'm gonna be
ePass is good for that.
Yeah, well, I've got that on like my phone and my computer and stuff like that. But there's certain things where I don't want to save the password. So, or what if I'm not near my devices?
Oh, it looks interesting.
Yeah.
I would have. I'm not an MMO guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a single player
Gotcha.
guy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do co-op with if it's with people that I know.
Yeah.
But it's just you're seeing what looks like a zombie outbreak.
Uh-huh.
You see a dude in like a prison jumpsuit, and then all of a sudden, next thing you see a mech.
Yeah.
What kind of game is this? Just
It's
when
like
you think you have
things-
an idea
Yeah.
of what you think it is, it's like, oh, here's a great big piece of machinery. It's walking around on two legs.
Yeah.
Like I was watching the preview. I was like, it's like Resident Evil meets Days Gone By, meets Dead by Daylight, meets Call of Duty.
It does have a
Fallout.
mix of all that stuff. It's pretty cool.
But it's
I'm
been
big.
early
I'm big on
access.
single player games. Fallout 76 is probably the first one that I've actually done like online, but it's so solo focused. Like you get teams and stuff like that, or like if you do events, you're teamed up with people. But for the most part, you just play solo.
Yeah.
And so like I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
It's the online ones where I have to play with everybody and be constant and stuff, and people I don't know, that just makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, and you have to be concerned about whether or not they're cheating and
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the
avoiding, and
you
that's the part I don't like.
you have people that do raids on others for like no reason, just to be
Well-
douchebags.
Yeah,
It's
unless you're Ken and you pull a raid on Nas. On
yeah, but
Twitch.
that's a good raid. That's a raid that's born out of love.
That's
I know,
It's a
I-
love raid.
Lord Beerus was telling me about it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go find this replay because that sounds fabulous. Like it was so cute.
Oh man, it was in the middle of. I think it was in the middle of like an intense boss fight too.
Ooh.
Mhm.
All of a sudden, I just get raided. I'm like, oh crap! I have to focus on so many things. I play so much more poorly during a stream than I do on my own.
Right on. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I swear that's like, the second that I get on there, it's like I forget like how to even use a controller, where the buttons are, or
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm really not this bad, but
There was a point where I just like jumped into a pit because I thought I should go down there for some reason, and I just died. And I'm like, I swear I've played this game, and this is the second time I played this game. I just went and just off to myself,
Is it Mega
thinking
Man?
that there was something down there. Yeah. 'Cause if you've never played a Mega Man game, Fox, let me just explain. Sometimes there's hidden areas and you think it's down a chasm, so you just have to slide down there, and if the camera follows you, then it's telling you there's something there,
Yeah.
right? If the camera doesn't follow you, as soon as you're off the screen, you're dead.
That's hilarious.
And there was a spot where I thought, well, that looks suspicious. I'm just gonna jump down there instead of just slide down there on the wall. And I died, and it was the first level of the game, and I'm like, what am I doing? Why did I think I needed to go down there? Anyway, it made for a laugh, so I'm not going to complain too much about it. But this
Right on.
game in early access since 2018, and that
Mhm. It's
The-
supposed to release
flagged for me.
2020 this year. It's supposed to release this year. The
Yeah.
early access stuff really it boggles my mind. I can't wrap my head around it. It's like, so everyone's playing this already, but you haven't really released it yet. And it's like, huh? How does that work?
Yeah, and sometimes it's a scam. I don't think that's the case this time because I'm looking at the developer updates and they are updating
Oh, yeah.
routinely.
Oh yeah.
Like there's an update from 5 days ago on the Steam page, and that's their 96th update or 95th update.
Yeah, yeah.
So they are, because when you see an early access game and there hasn't been an update from the developer in like 3 years, that's the part that worries me.
Yeah.
Because if it's ready and you don't need to update it, release it.
Yeah, yeah.
Or otherwise you're just taking money and not really promising to offer anything in return.
Right.
I worry about that, but this looks legit.
Okay. Yeah. GG. Do you is this grabbing you? Is it piquing your interest?
It is piquing my interest. I'm not sure if I'll play for it. What, that robot is killing me. I'm just like,
I want that.
it kind of looks more like the one from Avatar.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell I don't have my ADHD medicine. Sorry, guys. But yeah, like it looks really interesting. I'm actually probably gonna check it out when we get off stream and see what it's all about.
Right on. Okay. I do. So same, but I'm not a big open world guy. I'm more like Nas. I'm more into the single player. Well, like MMOs. I like story driven single player games. So
same.
Like I do plan on checking out what's that, Days Gone, because this is feels really similar. But this one not so much. Not so much.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm gonna let my kid know about it because he loves playing stuff like that. So
right on.
We'll see what he thinks too.
It's dope. Look at us. Look at us. All right, are we ready to move into our next trailer?
Yeah.
This one, I got a feeling you guys aren't gonna feel at all, but it's nostalgia. Is what it is.
Oh, we might surprise you.
Okay, hey man, I'm open to be surprised. What's up, everybody? So, not a lot of gaming news out there this week, but we still managed to
Cell shaded. Oh. Yeah, I saw this a few days ago. I think I reposted this on X. As I was saying, like, this is what we need. Because these are former EA developers that are making this game. No. Basketball games were never really my thing. More like Madden or NHL. Why would you call that dude Zamboni?
I don't understand. Like, yeah, I'm like, I get he's big and Zambonis are big, but come on. It makes no sense.
It's a different sport.
I know. Of course, you probably thought hockey. I thought figure skating because I used to figure skate.
Oh, okay.
Put it down, girl. My court. Oh yeah, baby.
Oh yeah, I like that landing girl. Kid.
Right on.
Who's next?
That was awesome.
It's pretty good. I like that.
I like that animation art style. That
right on.
Going for it.
Right on. What about you, Nas? Is this well?
You know what? So this isn't the game I'd play on my own.
Right.
But if I had a few friends that wanted to play this, I would be so down for that.
right on.
Just because it's a fun. It looks like it's going to be a fun group game.
Yeah.
And the reason I highlighted this when I saw it is because I'm thinking these are the types of games that we need for the smaller developers, even though they are former EA. But this is I think still classified as an indie game.
Yeah.
We need this sort of thing to kind of like break the stranglehold that EA has on sports.
True. 100%. Yeah. I remember when these NBA streets and NFL streets came out back in the day. They really went out on a limb with those games because you had no idea if they were gonna do well. It's like, sure, you had and one, and that was all about dribbling and breaking ankles and stuff like that.
Crazy ball control. Like I remember seeing the and one videos, like the first few ones. I was like, these guys are insane.
Yes, too good. And so I mean that was popular, but they still took a big shot in the dark with putting those games out, and they did really well as far as I'm concerned. I love those games. So yeah, I totally get it. So it was kind of like an indie inside of a big AAA studio. right? With NBA Streets, and that's where they're going with this. So what do you think? Oh, well, looks, gameplay, things like that. What do you think about this one, Nas?
I haven't really seen the gameplay yet.
That's true.
This is,
Sorry,
this
that's my
isn't.
bad.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
fair.
I'm curious
Super
to see
fair.
it. I don't know. Looks like it could be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking in the chat right now. John DBZ saying it's an updated version of NBA Jam. I loved NBA Jam. NBA Jam was great.
I don't think I played NBA
And
Jam.
I played the crap out of that game.
Right on.
But yeah, it kind of captures that. It kind of takes away from the whole management side of things. That's kind of a problem with electronic arts games, like with EA sports games.
Mhm.
There's a lot of management going on. There's a lot of like quote unquote loot boxes and the
Mhm.
ultimate team stuff like that, and spending money year over year on cards and players that you can't take forward, which I think is crappy. This just seems to focus on gameplay.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a little over the top, it's a little arcadey, but you know what? There's going to be a market for this.
Oh yeah.
There's going to be an audience for this if
Oh,
it's
yeah.
done right.
I think the over the top is actually really awesome. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, think about it. The over the top bright colors and craziness really captures people with Fortnite. So, you know, it seems to be something that's appealing to people. But, you know, as a former like art major, like looking at the way that the animation of it, the way that they did it is just, I was like, this is awesome. Like, if I don't play it, I'll definitely watch gameplay of it because it just looks really cool.
Personally, I think I could do with a lot less color.
Yeah.
It's a little too much for me, but gameplay, I don't know, I have to see it, but if the gameplay is great, then I won't care.
Right on.
I'll overlook that. It's fine.
You got an ad
I
playing
like,
for this,
I
but I
like
got
colors, so
right on.
it's that ADHD in me, all that chaos in my mind. If the game matches it, I'm like, woohoo!
Oh wow. Oh, derp. Okay, here we go. So we've got some gameplay from the original NBA Streets. Let's see if I can clean this up a little bit. So let's do that.
I remember people talking about NBA Streets like so lovingly.
Oh, it was great. It was fantastic. And it had, you could tell us, see the guy, he jumped like, look at this.
What?
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome, actually. Like, over the top ridiculous, but I love
He
it.
dunked it twice.
Yeah.
He dunked it twice.
He said I did the double dunk.
and I'm pretty
and
sure.
it was like, wee.
You see him? They're
Oh,
jumping
jeez.
like 13
Yeah.
feet in the air.
They have
It's
those. They have
freaking
those
crazy.
shoes that they had in the Free Guy movie.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
they've got their Air Jordans. That's what it is. You remember
They
those
got
shoes where you
something.
could pump the soles up? You remember those?
Yes, we were.
I
I
have
actually
one.
saw that on X the other day, and I was like, "Oh man, the pumps! Those were so cool." when
Yeah,
we were
yeah,
kids, You know, if you were cool, you had them.
Yeah,
Had
yeah.
the black ones, and they
Wait, yeah.
they were just ridiculous. And then I think like a year ago we were talking about pumps, and I was like looking them up, and you could still find them.
That's
And I was
crazy.
like, this is crazy.
Just for the novelty, I'd probably pick those up. Not gonna lie.
Exactly. I was like, just for nostalgia.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and by the way, no bed bugs commercials this time. I have
Oh.
no idea what's going on with this.
Well, that's good.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You know.
But all in all, good trailer. Very good representation of well, okay. I won't say what it's gonna look like, but it looks good, is what I was trying to say, if I could speak today. But as far as getting it, I know Nash, you said no, but if you had a friends over and wanted to play, you guys are jumping on it. What about you, GG?
I would probably give it a try with like someone else, like if my kid wants to play it or something, one of my kids, or something like that. But this probably something like I would end up like watching
Gotcha.
more
Yeah.
than playing myself.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I do like sports games to watch. I don't play them
Mm.
as much. I think the most I ever played was actually like golf games.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
And considering I don't really like golf in real life, like it's hilarious. But I have a lot of sports games. I just don't really play them all that much. Oh my
Gotcha.
gosh.
Like if I got my hands on it and I
Mhm.
tried it and just absolutely fell in love with the gameplay, then yeah, I'd probably pick it up. But I have to see it first. I have to see more gameplay.
Gotcha. I'm gonna see. So it looks like
We
it's
need
gonna
those
be on
trial
PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Steam, and it's a 3v3. I want to say it is a op also.
Oh,
Pretty
one
sure?
other thing I do know about this game is
Yes.
that it's going to be released on PC at the same time
Mhm.
as consoles, which is something that
Very
EA
nice.
doesn't always do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it going to be cross-play?
I want to say yeah. You should be able to.
I
If
hope
it's
so.
gonna, yeah,
Because that would
Yeah.
be cool.
yeah, that would be dope.
I'd play with you guys.
Right on. I mean, if they are going to release it on, all those platforms, I don't see a good reason not to include crossplay. I just don't. And plus,
I hate
this
when
isn't
games don't do
EA, so
crossplay.
they might just go ahead and do it.
Yeah. They were like,
Mm.
see, we're better.
I don't know what sort of agreements you need to have in place in order to get crossplay. I mean, it might be
That's
it
also
may
a
be
good
something there's a lot of hoops to jump through, I can imagine, because you're dealing with multiple companies that
Yeah.
are in competition with each other.
Yeah, true. And then Sony
So-
Sony makes it hard for everyone to do crossplay, like especially when they, the FTC and the Xbox were having their hearing. It's coming out that they charge a whole lot of money for people to get on and be able to use crossplay, or is it they charge a whole lot of money to make their games exclusive? I don't remember. All I know is Sony, as far as corporate go, they're probably the corporate of the corporate when it comes to Xbox and PS5, or Xbox and Sony.
Well, from a competitive point of view, you don't want to do anything that gives your competitors an advantage.
Yeah.
And sometimes that means cutting off your nose to spite your face. So it's like we're not going to get the advantage, but we also don't want you to have it either. And especially in this case,
Yeah.
it's crappy, but
Yeah.
and it's not good for gamers because
No.
it kind of denies us the opportunity to be able to play across platform. But
Yeah.
I don't think they care all that much.
They don't.
Well, I mean, they care when they look at their bottom line,
Of
and
course.
that's literally
It's the only
the
thing that
extent of their caring.
Yes.
You
That-
know,
yeah,
like,
that's pretty much it.
I don't know. It's here. Hang on, Kenshin. Read.
Before we get into our next one, I'm gonna bring up I had it. Now I don't know where it is. Oh, derp. Okay, here we go. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, we're good now. We got it. All right, now, as far as this next trailer, Nas, I think you're gonna absolutely love it. You've probably been keeping an eye on it anyway. Gigi, I'm not sure. I don't know. So we'll have to see.
Let's see.
Let's see if I got the right one. It's ready to go. I'm gonna try not to hit the intro again. All right, let's hit it.
All right.
Having a goal is better than inactivity. An alternative to focusing on the symptoms and the memories.
No.
I'm 120
this looks like
years
BioShock.
old. And I don't have any strength left to keep recalling the past.
You're a goddamn departmental legend.
Legend, huh?
More like cautionary tale.
I need access.
Do you think I don't know why the chief put you on restricted duty?
No doubt about it, this case smells worse than a 2-week-old corpse in a storm drain.
Can I ask you something
Whoa.
personal? Do
Yeah.
you believe in life after death?
That's an intense
Well, apparently in the past,
fight.
people used to ask stuff like that all the time.
Because the average lifespan was less than 100 years.
And now, can we believe in anything beyond this? What if you could choose the bank or death?
Sarah, you there?
All those innocent souls. I will find you.
James? No, please.
Take you apart piece by piece. Who are you?
I've lost visual.
You should be thanking me.
Huh.
Yeah, how do we feel about this one? Nobody wants to die.
Wow,
I-
that grabbed my attention for sure.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably with games like that. Sometimes though, I need to wait to see how players react before I decide if it's something I'm gonna jump into.
Right on.
But man, that trailer, like, it was like, come here,
Yeah.
come here right now.
Right on. So
this is already out.
yeah. I want to say it came
Oh.
out in the last 10 days.
10
What's
days.
the date? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this is the description. Time reveals all. Lose yourself in the world of New York 2329, where immortality comes at a price that someone has to pay. Following a near-death experience, Detective James Kara takes an off-the-books case from his chief with only the help of a young police liaison, Sarah Kai, to assist him. Time reveals all as they risk everything in the pursuit of a killer, uncovering the dark secrets of the city's elite. I want to say it's a stunning narrative adventure utilizing the power of the Unreal Engine 5. Nobody Wants to Die pushes the boundaries of storytelling, combining photorealistic graphics and a distinctly unique narrative experience. And then, what is it? Noir immersion. Lose yourself in the dystopian future through this meaningful and original interactive detective story that explores the dangers of transhumanism and immortality in a world of eternal life and vanishing morality. You are a hardened detective. Must navigate the lines of right and wrong in a society where death is a distant memory. And just shout out to Ken real quick. That description kind of reminds me of Freyren, where you have an immortal elf, and she's kind of, like us as the viewer are grappling with like if I could live hundreds and hundreds, even thousands of years, like how would that change my morality? The human part of me. Anyway, getting way off track there. But yeah,
No,
I mean,
it's
that's
not
a great,
really.
yeah,
It's a good question.
It's a great question, especially, and it ties in with this since they're talking about immortality.
Yeah,
It kind of reminds me of Repo, the genetic opera. It's like a movie. It's like way out there. Definitely like a cult type movie. But in the future, like you basically get all these organs and you get to live and you get to do things, or like if you're blind, you get to see.
Yeah.
But if you can't pay, which the pay is outrageous, they send the Repo Man.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah.
What's
So it's called Repo, the genetic opera. Like they actually sing in it too. It's a little different, but like it was kind of cool because like you can't pay for that organ that kept you alive or this or that. The Repo Man's gonna come collect it, and you're just like, whoa, that's just wicked.
So do they grow genetic or like grow people just to use for organs, or how does that go? How does that work?
It doesn't really explain it in there.
Okay.
It's just more like this company has this monopoly on things, and they kind of keep you under their thumb with all these organs that you're doing. But I mean, other than that guy with the knife in the head, immortality looks like it's working out for them in this game.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. That's just, it's true. Like if you can live for hundreds or thousands of years, like, are you going to become this jaded, immoral person, or is it going to make you like this better person because you've seen all this stuff going on?
Yeah.
It's a tough call. I mean, I would like to say that it would make me more compassionate because like I see stuff around the world now and I'm like, oh my god. But
I think I'd get more cynical with time.
I think I would get hardened by it.
Yeah.
And just be like really cynical.
Yeah. Because I mean,
think of just how you are as you're getting older.
Yeah.
And
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a youngin.
Well, okay, but at one point you were younger than you are now, and your attitude has shifted over time.
Mm-hmm.
And now what you're just looking at everybody around you acting like an idiot, and you're just like, God, I can't stand some of these people around that I have to share this world with, you know. And I wonder if you extended it out like another 100 years, where would you be at that point when you realize that you're going to outlive these people, so none of them matter anyway,
There
all
you
that
go.
much.
Oh man,
I don't know. I mean, it's
that would be scary.
That's true.
That's scary. It's like that. Like
the lofty premise.
yeah.
And I wonder if the storytelling can keep up with it, because you're building a huge world here with a lot of very interesting mechanics.
Yes.
And if you execute it properly, if you give everything the explanation that it deserves, and it all follows this internal logic that you build, this could be outstanding. This could be a beautifully executed game.
Yeah.
But do they? Is what I wonder.
We'll see. We'll see.
I mean,
oh, shoot.
With what I'm seeing from this trailer, and I remember when I saw the tree that exploded and they rewound time, like, I have seen this before.
Yeah.
I thought, ooh, okay. I like that time manipulation mechanic. Again, it reminds me of Prince of Persia, and it reminds me of another trailer I looked at before called the Chronos Event,
That's right.
which uses time manipulation.
We talked about that too.
How are you going to pull this off? Are you going to pull this off? Are you going to be able to pull this off? I really, really want you to, because visually the game looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Reminds me of BioShock mixed with like a more lived-in BioShock, like Blade Runner. Right, it has that element to it. It looks great. I really, really want this game to do well.
Yeah.
So I want to love it.
Good night. It's but it's got like that 50s aesthetic to it, you know. That's the BioShock. But
was it like retro futuristic? Is that the term for it?
I want to say yes. That sounds correct. It sounds right.
If it's not the term, it is now.
Yes.
Because it's fabulous.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that is what it is. I didn't make it up. I just heard it.
Just like love bombing. I love that.
Love bombing or plushometer.
There you go.
Patent pending.
Patent pending.
Yes, it is retrofuturistic. Yeah, it's a creative movement that combines elements of nostalgia and futurism, blending the past and the future. So, like Fallout, for example, is retrofuturistic.
And
BioShock.
The studio that's developing this, I want to say, is Deep Silver, if I'm not mistaken.
Critical Hit Games.
Critical Hit Games?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So what is this? What is this Deep Silver thing right here? What is that?
I don't know.
And like, so Sony, why aren't you what?
What's up?
No, I'm looking at the PlayStation store or whatever, and what, I gotta figure that out. That's bugging me now. Google.
Is it not on there?
And no, it says Deep Silver. As far as the publisher, I guess the studio. Well,
I don't know. I don't know if it would be different for Steam, because I'm looking at the Steam page.
That's probably the studio then. Yeah, you got it. Son of a biscuit. It's so hard to find this stuff. To find the information. And like, you would think it'd be like, oh, front and center, so you can find it. It's like, absolutely not.
Did you guys ever play Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time?
Yes.
You did?
Yep. Fantastic game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
So what did you think of that time manipulation mechanic in there? Because I'm starting to see this in more games, and I kind of like it.
I thought it was great. I like how it felt kind of scarce when I was going through it, but I was a different player back then, you know. But it felt kind of scarce. But overall, absolutely loved it. Loved it. Absolutely. Yeah.
I laughed so hard playing that game. Because you know how if you ran out of sands, you couldn't use it, right? So let's say that you jumped to your death by accident, and so you rewind, but you don't have enough rewind juice to get you all the way to the point where you didn't jump, like to get you right to the point where you were about to jump but didn't. So instead of actually saving yourself, you just got to see an instant replay of your own death,
That's hilarious.
complete with scream and everything. It was hilarious. I had to stop playing for like 10 minutes. I was laughing so hard.
That's some good stuff right there.
Um,
I would love to see that on a loop for a few minutes.
So we do have some game reviews. Apparently, it's sitting at a strong 78,
Not bad.
and a favorable user score of an 8. Freaking that's great, dude.
8 out of 10 is a good one.
Let's see what Eurogamer. I'm gonna go with Eurogamer because they like paywall their stuff so bad it's ridiculous. Am I thinking of Eurogamer? Whatever, I'm all over the place today. Let's see what they got. Nobody Wants to Die doesn't bring much invention to the table, but while it lacks originality, it has atmosphere, heart, and relevance in spades. Okay, right around.
Lacks originality. That's
actually
surprising.
Yeah, 100%, right? Because it looks like an original premise. I mean, it's not like it hasn't been done before, but
that's probably
like,
what they're referring to.
in this kind of setting, I don't think I've ever seen it like this before. You know, gorgeous game too, a graphical and atmospheric treat that captivates to the end. However, gameplay lacks challenge and variety. Okay.
Yeah, that's consistent with what I'm seeing on the Steam reviews.
Right on.
It's saying this is a detective story, not so much a detective game, which I thought,
Gotcha.
ooh, that's an interesting distinction that this
It
person
is.
has made.
Right.
It's very much on the rails. So some people are saying it's more like a beautiful walking simulator with great voice acting and stuff. And if that may be your speed, that's
Yeah.
fine. I mean, this isn't, I don't know how much it is on like console stores, but
I want to say it was $24. Let's see.
yeah, so
Yeah.
on Steam it's like $34.49 Canada dollars. So that still, even with that, it could be a good value for people that like this sort of atmosphere.
Right on. I think that so Nas, will you be playing this on your Twitch?
I don't know.
Okay. GG.
I'm being honest. I don't know.
That's fair. That is absolutely fair too.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Nas. Like, I don't really know. I definitely, it looks really good. It
Yeah.
really does.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll have to see.
All right.
My concern with detective games, or I guess detective stories, is how you implement the actual detective work, and can you get it wrong? That's the thing I liked about LA Noire. I mean, for its faults, you could get the investigation wrong.
Yeah.
And you had to sort of live with the consequences of that. And that I like.
That's crazy.
I don't want something to just say, no, you didn't do this right. Do it again
Yeah.
until you get it right.
Hold
you
your
know?
hand. It's like,
Right. If I screw up, I want to own it. I want the game to reflect that. But that requires more storytelling.
see what you mean.
And from what I'm seeing here, if it's kind of on the rails, I
Yeah.
don't really know how well you're going to be able to see off the train, I guess.
I get that. You want to be able to like see the consequences and the different stories of the choices that you make.
Well,
Yeah.
think about it. In the real world, if a detective gets something wrong, there are real world consequences, and that would inform the story moving forward.
Yeah.
The guilty party, what would they do if the heat wasn't on them? Would they continue their, serial crime spree, or would they go into
course
hiding
they
until
would.
the heat's off? Like,
Yep. That's fair.
is that written into this game? I don't know. I don't think so. Not from what I've seen.
Yeah.
But that's what I would expect from a detective game. Other people's expectations are probably going to be different. So
Yeah.
take what I say with a grain of salt.
Well,
No.
that grain of salt is supposed to make you think.
Yeah.
so.
That's all very, very fair.
Mhm.
Not gonna lie. Yeah. Makes you stop and go, isn't there that sounds like
I really
a
want to
commercial.
love this game.
Yeah.
I really want to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What about you, GG? You said this is not something you play.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know that I'll play it. I definitely want to look into it. Sometimes on games like that, though,
Mhm.
it'll have to be out for a while, and I need to hear from people with similar
Mhm.
like likes as me,
Right.
as far as gameplay and story and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not a bad price, so it might
Mhm.
be something that I would try out just to try out, and if I didn't like it, it wouldn't feel like a huge loss to me.
Right.
So,
Right. That price
um,
point, and that, I mean, listen up, you know, game studios, price point matters. But go ahead. Sorry, Gigi.
So I was gonna say, like at that price, it's not a huge risk for me to try it.
Mhm.
So it's possible,
Okay.
you know.
Right on. So we've got one more trailer. That last one, man, you guys are killing it today. We're getting right through it. I freaking yes. Sorry. But our last trailer, it's got an eerie look to it. I will here before I do that, I'm gonna go back. Oh my gosh. Super.
Where are we going back to?
We're going back to oh wait. Well, whenever we were being, you know, super professional, it looked really good. That's what I want to go back to that. But I thought I had information on this one. Turns out I do not. Here,
What's the name of it?
I can't tell you.
Oh,
Can't tell you. I wanted
is
to
it
be
a surprise?
Yes. But I mean, to be honest, you guys have probably already heard of these, which is, you know,
I don't know, man. There's so many games out there.
yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, it's
insane.
it's
True story.
all right. Nope, I got it. This took me forever. Trying to find. Boom. Sweet. All right, let us get into this last trailer and get back on the rails here.
Yeah. That's a little ominous. Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Oh, it looks like one of those Mass Effect husks. I don't know if you guys ever played Mass Effect before.
my brother my brother-in-law used to play it a lot, but it was so long ago because
Oh, it was like the very first mission of the very first game. You're investigating was it Eden Colony, and
Gotcha.
there are these great big spikes, and humans are placed on them, and the spikes go through them and slowly turn them into these husks, which are basically, I don't know how to describe them. They're kind of like zombies, but not really. They're a cybernetic. They become cybernetic.
Gotcha. Okay. Whoa.
Because that's what the Geth, which is a machine species that basically overthrow their creators,
Mm-hmm.
and they have the ability to turn humans or living creatures into subservient husks that
Yo.
just come at you and they attack you and they just run straight at you.
that
Right, so
sounds
it's kind of-
awful.
I guess if you've never played, okay, it's a little sidebar here. If you've never played Mass Effect before,
Mhm.
I highly recommend it.
Okay.
I highly recommend it. They're very good games. The third is, I only played it once, but the first and the second one are just fantastic. I should probably play the third one again.
Right
Been a
on.
while.
Right on. So, what do you?
Looks very Viking like.
Yes.
Like
Okay.
a Celtic Viking type thing, which I dig all things Viking.
Right on.
But and I can't tell, like like we were talking about the game mechanic with the time and stuff like that, but it looks like maybe it's rewinding to kind of like show you what it could have looked like so you can try to figure it out. So it seems like you're doing some detective work as well.
Right.
But yeah, that ending when that guy came out, I was like, "Ooh!" Like
Yeah,
if they jump out at you, like I'm gonna be screaming the whole time. And, I love me a good horror movie.
Yes.
So, or
And there've been-
well, not just movie, but game.
Yeah. There were some trailers we watched that we were like, "Oh, Gigi, we wish Gigi was here."
Yeah.
What was it called? That game? I
Quiet
missed
Place.
the
I want to
title.
say. Oh no, this one's called
No,
Nowhere.
not the Quiet Place. Yeah,
Nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. A Quiet Place. I can't wait to play that game.
Yeah. So
Oh,
the
we figured
description
you'd
on
be,
this one.
that'd be up your alley.
Right. The description on this one: Nowhere is a Nordic-inspired narrative mystery horror game. As a detective trapped in Norway's forests, you search for missing tourists, uncovering hidden secrets. The game combines detective gameplay with survival horror set in atmospheric Scandinavian locations, creating a tense, immersive experience. It's looks like it's only coming out for PC right now anyway. Single player, developed by Midnight Forge, and developed and published by Midnight Forge. But yeah, it's adventure detective,
you,
exploration
Viking-esque.
mystery, survival horror. Yeah.
Why is there a cell phone in the game? I'm
Maybe
looking at the Steam
he
page
went
and
back in time.
Right.
I'm looking at the Steam page, and one of the pictures is what looks like a Nokia, which I guess kind of makes sense considering where this is supposed to take place. But at the time,
those things don't die.
Oh, that's true.
That's
They
true.
transcend time.
They're like the cockroaches of cell phones. Like
I would
they'll-
say the Chuck Norrises
after
of
the
cell
world
phones.
ends, it's gonna be Keith Richards, cockroaches, and those Nokia phones.
And Chuck
Yeah.
Norris. But
Yeah, and
like
Chuck
it's like
Norris.
if you drop it on the ground moves, the phone stays where it's at. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
you crack
what I
the
think.
cement, and the phone is fine.
Yeah.
It's
That's
the real Mjolnir.
Yes. Now we know.
It's like
That's what they did. They harnessed the power of Thor
Yeah,
and
yeah.
made these phones.
anything after millennials
Power
aren't
of
worthy.
Nokia.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Anything after millennials, they're not worthy because they just don't get it.
Dude, I'm telling you, like I had an ex like throw a phone at me one time, and I'm like, I remember my first thought was, I'm glad this is a flip phone and not a Nokia. Like,
Like
because we're
keyboard
great
or
distances
something.
apart, and it's like a chunk to throw it to me. I'm like, but that shows that also tells kids, like, we used to be able to just go buy phones wherever and just switch SIM cards and didn't have
Yes,
to pay
that's-
connection fees or do any of this. And
Yeah,
I remember like I'd have like a different phone like every like month,
they
that I
did
would
get into the
rotate 'em.
contract stuff later on, which I hated.
Yeah.
I did not like that part.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
But that's all the trailers we have for today. Let's
Wow.
get caught up with some comments, and then we will. Hold on, wait. Stuff to do on the other side of this real quick. But we'll get caught up with comments, and then we'll move on to some really interesting stories. So I've got some peripheral stuff. But do you guys just want to get into the main stories, or what? What do you want to do? Because I know
Whatever way you want to fly.
we'll get into the main
Whichever,
stories.
but I want to go into those main stories first and then finish
Okay.
on small
Okay.
things.
Right on. Also, for all the viewers, if you are enjoying the conversation, definitely make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. Don't have the graphic up. I'll probably get that later. Don't worry. Anywho's let's see. Not sure what's going. Oh, I think I know what's going on with that. Here, let's do this. Boom, and we're fixed. So Lord Barris, it's time for that infamous legendary casual consumer conversation that's only available every Saturday morning on YouTube. Thank you, Lord Barris. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Lord Barris, Fox, you and the panel always deliver the best current gaming events, better than even IGN. Well, I said it, so it's now an official declaration from the god of hierarchy. from the God hierarchy. But
We
thank
don't
you,
have
sir.
any big AAA studios paying us.
Yeah, for real.
Allegedly.
We don't have them sponsoring our content,
Right. They'd say that this was paid
influencing
for.
us.
Yeah.
Paid for by Sony.
No kidding. It's like deep pockets. Give me a Microsoft or an Xbox, because I want to say Sony is a like $150 billion company, but Microsoft getting into the trillions, and I'm like, give me a Microsoft.
Not on their gaming side though.
No.
Yeah. No. I don't want to do business with
I
Microsoft.
mean, mic drop, but I'm just saying.
That's
like,
a shot across the bow right there. Dang, GG. John WZ, hope the team have a great week. You as well, and
You
good to
too,
see you, John
John.
WZ.
Yes.
Beerus, Fox, props for the MMPR shirt. Yes, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yep. As Billy would say, it's more phenomenal. I don't think I've ever heard Billy say that.
I tried not to pay attention to any of those guys speaking.
I am not the retro freaking guy here. I used to watch but yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I viciously hate the Power Rangers, and it's probably just because my cousin would make me like watch that thing like 24/7 when I would go visit.
It was amazing. You're lucky I don't have the theme song. Okay.
Adorable.
Okay, theme song was great. Theme song was like the best part of that show.
Theme song was great. I was just like, I was older, so looking at the cheesiness and the
okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that one, because I went back and watched Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and it was not great. But it's the best thing.
I'm just big on graphics and looks and art style and stuff, and it was just like it reminded me of those like really bad Japanese kung fu movies where like even the subtitles didn't sync up, and the lips were moving, and then you'd hear the sound, and like you would be able to tell that like they were like they had some sort of like dollar store green screen behind them to show like all this. It was just
I am so glad I'm not alone with that, because I was saying the other day on Twitter that Mighty Morphin Power Rangers always kind of like straddle that line between like decently entertaining and just too cringe to watch. And I still to this day don't know how I feel about the show. I don't know if I like it or not. It's just one of those weird anomalies, right? Because most of the time it's like it's either on one side or the other.
Yeah.
If a show is entertaining but a little annoying, it's fine. It's mostly entertaining. You can watch it. But this one was right on that line. And the problem that I had was it was on TV when I came home from school. And I wanted to watch TV, and that was the only thing that was on, and it was like, okay, it's either this or I go do chores or homework. Well, I know what I'm gonna do then. I'm gonna watch Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and try to like it again every single day.
Yeah.
Never really got to the point. I couldn't really appreciate it for what it was.
Right.
I respect people that do. It's just wasn't for me. I just the characters I didn't like them. Except for the Green Ranger. Green Ranger was great.
Yeah.
But so when he came out, like when he was introduced and he came out and he kicked everybody's ass, I was like, yes, I am reinvested. The show is no longer sitting on that line. It's now decently entertaining because somebody came along and whooped their asses.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right.
I know my 15-year-old got into him years ago, when he was younger, and I was just like, for the love of God and all that is holy, like I might just punt him, like just open the door and just punt him.
Yeah.
My daughter loves Power Rangers as well, and I was just like, of course they do.
Yeah.
And then like as my youngest has grown, he kind of feels the same as I do. He's looking at it and he's like, wow, that's actually pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like,
that's how I was. I wasn't 15 when this first came out either.
Yeah. So it was pretty funny. He was just like, okay, now I understand why you would get up so much when I would ask you to watch with me and stuff.
Right on. I was way young when this came out, so I'm looking at this with rose-colored glasses. It was amazing back in the day. But I watched like a clip. I think maybe Bear sent me a clip of it or something like that. Something happened. I was like, oh, I wonder going back and seeing the older ones, and I was like, oh god, it's so bad. It's so bad. But
And
we
then
gotta
those-
remember,
those two guys. I don't know who they were. The two guys that were always trying to.
yes, the big guy and the skinny guy. Yeah,
Yes.
I can't remember his name.
Man, I was just.
They had weird
They would
names,
come
though.
on screen, and I'd be like, if I could reach through here and choke you, it would happen. Like,
Oh,
I just want
Beerus
to
would probably
smack you
answer
upside
that
the
back in
head
the day.
and
I
knock
kind
some
of
sense
wanted,
into you.
I kind of wanted Rita Repulsa to win a couple times.
Yeah.
She always seemed like she had that whole wily coyote about her, where it's like, I'm going to come up with this scheme and it's going to fail horribly, and it's like, I kind of feel bad for her a little bit.
Yeah.
I
That's
kinda feel bad for her.
hilarious. Right on.
Oh my goodness, that's great.
All right. I did want to mention this is a Gargoyles killer right here. This is one of the reasons why Gargoyles got canceled. Just to I know.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yes. Insult to
I
injury
knew there was a reason for my extra hate of that show
there.
Mhm.
because I love Gargoyles.
Yeah, Gargoyles is by far better than Power Rangers, but Power Rangers will forever hold a special part in my
Well,
heart.
yeah,
Mhm.
I get that, and I can agree with that. I really can. I think because I was a lot older by the time it came out, and then my cousin was constantly watching it, and we are like twins.
Mhm.
But when we were younger, it was just like total competition for my grandma's affection.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we were frenemies.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so it was just like he wanted to watch it, and I was just like, I just hate your face. Like,
Right on. Beerus, OMG, is that Gamer Geek Lounge? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Welcome back. Triumphant return. Beerus.
thank you.
Hi, John. Oh, this was a new one. Samurai Beast Warrior GTA 6 is coming out next year.
Yes,
and they're
that's
going
what we
to
heard.
yeah, they're gonna sell millions upon millions upon millions. They might make $1 billion within like the first month. Like you want to like it's like, oh, freaking God of War made $15 million or whatever. This is gonna make $1 billion in the first week. Is absolutely nuts.
Well, my household is a little bit extra, so you know, like at one point I've had games like on PS Vita, PS3,
Mhm.
you know, Nintendo, all that stuff.
Mhm.
I sometimes buy games for multiple consoles, especially portable ones.
Yeah.
And I can see my son asking for GTA 6 on PlayStation, on Xbox, you know, on PC, because he's got GTA 5 on all three of them. So I don't see this being any different. But he gonna have to go get a job or something.
100%. Yeah. So they announced it's going to be coming out next year. Did they say what the
Yes.
price is going to be?
They've had rumors about the price,
Mhm.
but no, I
Gotcha.
think the most they were talking about, like at one point, like having it for like $120, and I was just like, if that's the base model, like there's no way. Like,
yeah, I know.
my son will have to sell himself on the black market. Like, you know, I can't afford that for him. You know, like he gonna have to like get bought by China or something. I don't know.
Get a sponsorship.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Well,
here.
he'll be 16 by then, and I told him he could start doing content creation when he was 16,
Right on. Well,
so he
shoot,
could get a
man.
sponsor.
Yeah, he could.
I mean, they're gonna make a ton of money just from GTA Online as well. So they may not. I wonder. They don't have to charge more for it. They just charge a regular price, or even go as high as what, 90 or so, knowing that you're going to make a ton of money with GTA Online.
Yeah, they don't even
I don't
have
know.
to do
Who
that.
knows? Maybe they'll
much.
try and double dip and get people at both ends.
You know
Well,
they
they can-
will.
Yeah, they definitely will. You know, you'll have the GTA Online, and then
Yes.
don't they do something where it's like basically like a monthly subscription where you get like shark cards and
Yeah.
like all this and that, and that's in addition to like the online, because there's so much. They're gonna make a killing. They could sell that game for $20 and still make $1 billion
Yeah.
easily,
over a long
especially
enough
with all the
period of time.
services.
Mhm.
Yeah. they're gonna make a killing on GTA 6.
Yeah.
If you look at GTA 5 and how much of a killing they've made, and you know they've been on 3 gens, which is just it's awesome to me, but also like, come on guys, that's ridiculous. But
I bet that's what they were anticipating.
yeah,
So
they're good games though, you know, and they keep stories going, they keep things interesting. I can't do the multiplayer online in that style, but I do like the story modes. So
I used to.
yeah, like back with San Andreas and below.
Well, for me, peak GTA was GTA 4.
There you go.
And that's before so that's the last time they had DLCs. And the DLCs were very good. DLCs extended that story quite a bit.
I love a good DLC.
The way that the DLCs worked for GTA 4 was that they were all part of the same story. They were just happening concurrently, right?
No.
So you had the main story with Nico, and then you had the Ballad of Gay Tony, and then The Lost, and they were all happening at the same time. And there's a point where all 3 of those characters, all 3 playable characters, are in the same vicinity, and it happens in the first part of the game. It's kind of like Back to the Future, where you see things from a different perspective in the sequel. I really like that. I really like that those stories all tied together and then went their separate ways.
Yeah.
That was so fun for me. I really appreciated that. And then GTA 5, we didn't get any because they didn't need to.
Right.
And that was very disappointing. And plus, I thought the story was just too watered down and too generic and too mediocre. I'm sorry. So, I mean, I'm sure the people that love GTA 5 and the gameplay was fun. I'll give them that. But story-wise, it was
Yeah.
I don't know. Why do you give me the option at the end to save everybody? You can either lose one person, lose the other, or save both. I'm like, I wonder what I'm going to choose.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Depends on how that other person would.
Yeah.
I hate when they do that. Oh, you can save so and so or so and so.
Oh, so we're gonna get through a
hey,
good
John,
chunk of these
thank you.
real quick. John DZ, welcome back, Geek.
Thanks, John.
Samurai Beast Warrior No Strike is going to happen. I wonder if you were talking about in reference to the gaming
The
one,
gamers, yeah.
but they're already striking.
Yeah.
Striking already.
So I mean, maybe they know something that we don't.
Maybe. I did get an updated article, and we're going to be taking a look at that one today, because the one is with GameIndustry.biz, and they have theirs behind a paywall. I don't do that, so sorry, Game Industry. Gonna give shine to the Los Angeles Times. You missed out, buddy. John DBZ, hey Beerus, Samurai Beast Warrior, how are they going to be strike with GTA 6 is next year? Hopefully they're close enough to the end of development where this won't affect them, but we'll get into that.
They announced, they announced that it would be next year. I think actually at the end of last year,
right,
or whatever. It might have been like the last school year or whatever, but within the last year they announced that it was coming in 2025. So it's very possible to have a strike when a game has been announced for next year.
Oh yeah.
From what I understand, GTA 6 will not be affected by the strike.
Okay.
Because of contract terms that were specifically laid out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's weird. I've never really heard of this, but apparently that's what's going to happen. So
they probably saw this coming. It's like, here's
or
an updated
they were
contract
just
for you.
smart.
It's very likely because these contracts have been under negotiation for like a year and a half or so. So maybe they saw which way the wind was blowing, especially with the Hollywood strike, and said we need to build in some protection for us because it's very important that we get this out on time.
Because they will lose a ton of money if it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yes. It was smart of them to do that.
Yeah. Lord Beers, my God, it feels like a few million years since Gigi was here.
I know, I'm sorry, but I appreciate everybody.
Yeah. Samurai Beast Warrior, I'm not buying this news. Right on, man. We'll give you the receipts. We got the receipts. We'll get there. Don't worry. Yeah. Lord Beers, Samurai, if you have such a problem with their news, then leave. It's really that simple. You don't have to stay and listen. Okay.
Well, we appreciate you standing up and everything like that.
Right,
but
right.
we also like people's
Dissent,
input and
you know,
opinions
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. We can respect that they don't feel the same.
Hmm.
But we'll also we try
Or
to
it may just not want to feel the
Yeah.
same. That's
Right.
fair.
That too. Yeah, yeah.
that
We-
is fair.
Mhm.
But we try to deliver the news that we've read throughout the week, and we will offer our opinions on it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But anything that we're talking about on here is something that we've seen like within the gaming news. Whether it comes to fruition or not is another story. But we're just talking about what we've had this week to read through and stuff. So
Well, I mean,
it'd be fun to have like industry insiders that would give us more information than what we see in the
Right.
news, but I don't think we have that. At
Right
least
on.
not yet. Who knows?
yeah, yeah.
I wish.
Maybe with time.
Yeah, yeah. I'm hoping.
I'll just start
dude.
going on road trips talking about, will you be my friend?
But that's the thing, like, if you got to create this like kind of dichotomy where people kind of trust you in the news and know that you aren't going to bend one way or another based on who is, shooting you a sponsor or whatever, and then that could,
And then there's a whole vetting process. It's not easy.
no.
And if you're not careful, you can get caught.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm one of those that I'm pretty defiant, so I would have a problem. They'd be like, I need you to sponsor this and never use this type of headphone again. And I'd be like, don't tell me how to live my life. You want to catch these
Don't
hands?
tell me how to live my life.
Yeah. I did the catch my hands thing for Beerus. He thinks it's funny when I say that.
Catch
Oh,
these hands.
he referenced that. We were having a little bit of a discussion over that actually.
Yeah. All right, John DBZ,
I bet.
Beerus, have you seen the crazy things going on with France and the Olympics? I have not. Hold on.
I saw something last night when I was on X, and it was bits of the opening ceremony. Apparently,
Uh-oh. What happened? Were they? What happened?
Well, first there was this dude in the clip that was painted blue,
Okay.
and it's like he had
Like the Blue Man Group back in the day.
yeah, but more Smurfy,
Huh?
more Smurfy, like a lighter blue, like
Oh.
weird. And it was like he had like a lay like going on parts like from his rib cage like down and covering his
Oh, was he
Jump.
naked?
yeah.
Oh.
Well,
And then it switches to a bearded, mind
That's
you,
great.
bearded drag queen.
Right on.
okay.
Yeah,
What
and
does
I
that
was
have to
just
do
like,
with the Olympics?
and I kind of tilted my head, and I was just like, who are these performers, and why is it so extra? Like, it was just weird. And I mean, I didn't have sound on; I just saw the clips, and I was just like, this is just weird. Like,
Yeah.
what are they doing? So my plan today was to try to like look through and see
Uh-huh.
and hear so I can figure out the deal. But it definitely was odd, and I was wondering why that was. Normally they do more of a cultural show at the beginning of the Olympics, so I wasn't really
Right.
sure how this fit into
Mm-hmm.
the cultural, like, this is what our country is about type thing.
Right.
It looked more like definitely like an entertainment thing, but it
Right.
just didn't make a lot of sense to me compared to past opening ceremonies. So I think that's what everybody's talking about, because I mean Twitter was ablaze last night. The one tweet that I saw, it had like 33.3K like comments on it. And I
Okay.
was like,
Holy.
dang. Yeah.
Sheesh. Right
Yeah.
on.
So I was like, well, apparently people are not. They're all like, WTF?
Yeah. I'm there for the gymnastics part and some
Yes.
sprints, the 100-meter dash. That's why I'm there. I
I like
don't
the
really catch the
sprints
opening
and-
stuff.
Yeah, I like the sprints, the gymnastics, and I dig beach volleyball. I do.
Right
I
on.
really do.
Right on.
And-
I got
and
nothing to
soccer
say about the
/
Olympics.
football.
I got nothing to say. I give less than a shit about the Olympics.
Not even the winter part?
Nothing.
Hilarious.
I can't stand the Olympics. Period.
Mhm.
I don't like how it takes over everything.
Yeah.
It's- and
I get that.
the corruption scandals that go along with
Oh,
it. And,
yeah, that too.
man, I don't care. I just
Right on.
want it to be over so I can go back to everybody can go back to regular life.
Right
Well,
on.
I think mine's different because I used to be in sports that could have been
Mhm.
like Olympic. Well, they were in the Olympics. I'm just saying, like, there was possibilities there, and plus,
Oh.
like, I know Olympians, and I actually know the one of the pairs skating teams that went to the last Winter Olympics,
Very cool.
and
Yeah.
And my son's coach actually was in the Lake Placid Olympics.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
it's just different for me because, like, you know, I know I know actual Olympians,
Mhm.
and I used to play sports, and you know, my kids did and stuff, and so the Olympics were possibilities that could be like a goal that would come. So
Very
I have
cool.
a different like view on Olympics. But
Mhm.
as far as taking over all of the TV and all of the internet and all this for 2 weeks, it does annoy me too sometimes. So
I just like to watch, you know, the top athletes in the world competing. I think that is super interesting,
Yes,
just to
it's
see
just
how far
awesome.
they can push the human body. I think it's dope. Samurai Beast Warrior. Look at the truth. No game strike is going to happen ever. Here, do not listen to everything you hear online. Well, I mean, when it's being corroborated by different outlets in the Los Angeles Times, where the strike is taking place, you have to kind of
yeah,
it's like, oh, maybe
and
this
it's
might be
even on-
real.
It's even on BBC News.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I know
But
it's British broadcast, but
Don't
you
worry,
know,
Samurai Beast Warrior. We
We're gonna
will
see.
get there. We will get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
we're gonna check into it.
where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yes.
And if enough news outlets of different types, corporate media, smaller media, whatever, all
Mhm.
saying the same thing, then
Yeah.
it's likely. Yeah, I understand. Don't believe everything you read online,
Mhm.
or don't believe everything you hear online.
Yeah.
But then again, does that also extend to comments on a live stream?
Right.
I don't know.
You're right.
You're saying it's not going to happen. So to what extent should we believe what you're saying and what your sources are?
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
It's where's the line?
Right.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're not trying to pick a fight. We're
No.
just trying
No,
to
absolutely not.
go
It is
through
what
all
it
this
is.
stuff. But
I promise.
the whole thing
Oh.
about this strike is more of an AI issue. Like,
Yes.
Mhm.
We'll get there.
You know,
we
like-
will get there. We'll
so
get there.
that's what we're gonna get into, and maybe it'll
Mm-hmm.
kind of help as far as this goes. So
Yeah. Speaking of that, oh my gosh.
destroying planet spirits.
Yes. Give me one quick second. Oof. But no, go ahead. You guys continue. I'm taking a look at this.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about GTA 6. I mean, we heard the discussion about Take-Two saying, "Hey, review bombing might affect our bottom line on this," and some people are speculating, well, that sounds like they're preparing for the worst. I don't know if I think I said this last time. I don't know if that's the case or if it's just gearing up for what possibilities could, what things could happen. Sorry, words are hard today. Words are really hard today. What I'm trying to say is we don't know whether or not that's just preparing for the possibility or whether or not they actually think this is going to happen.
Yeah.
I would think after the review bombing that's been going on, it's just smart business to prepare just in case.
What's review bombing? What is review bombing? What's the difference between review bombing and people just leaving negative reviews because they're not happy with a game?
Well, I think as far as that goes, the difference is when people are literally getting on there, they might not be personally happy with the game, but
Yeah.
I've seen people that have like 5-6 accounts that will go on and just spread this negativity because they don't agree with, say, who the game sponsors for the Olympics or something like that, or you know, the actor that voiced so and so did this like 20 years ago, and I don't think that they're a good person or whatever. You know what I mean? The review bombing is, you know, what can I use? Okay, like so Burning Shores, my Horizon Forbidden West DLC. It had the heroine fell in love with another female.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so review bombing would be like, oh, we don't like homosexuality. We haven't played this game. We don't know it, but we're going to try to boycott it and try to bring down the ratings so that people don't buy it because we don't agree with this.
Yeah.
So it would be something along those lines. That's kind of the only example I can think of off the top of my head. Or, oh, I don't like magic, you know, because it goes against my religion. So I'm going to review bomb Harry Potter, you know?
Yeah.
I've seen stuff like that. So that's what we mean by review bomb versus somebody that just gets on and leaves a negative review that they don't like it.
I don't know. It's just such it's one of those terms that it's used by so many people meaning so many different things to the point now where it's just kind of a boogeyman. It doesn't, I mean, it means you have a definition that you laid out, Gigi, and that's your definition of it. My definition of it would be different. Fox's definition might be different. Everybody's definition of it is different, but when we all use these same words, we all think we're meaning the same thing.
Yeah.
And it only takes like asking questions to find out exactly what we're all talking about. And nobody ever wants to do that. We just want to continue using these terms because it's easier to do that than saying, well, I think it was a systematic camp. You know, it's easier to just say review bombing. But my point is, we all attach different meaning to it.
Yeah. And to be fair, though, there are some that do that, but there are some that really have issues with the game, you know, the gameplay. And what you're doing is like you're washing their criticisms. You're just lumping it in with this umbrella term that isn't at all what they mean. You know, they have valid criticisms, but you're lumping them in with people who are, you know, making surface level criticisms like, oh, I don't like, you know, this one part or this one part. It's like people who actually play the game. It's like, hey, I've got criticisms. It's like, no, you're a toxic gamer. Shut your mouth. And it's like, no, I have actual criticisms. You know, not a toxic gamer. It's not as great as you're making it out to be. You know what I mean?
So, I mean, it seems like the distinction there is what's perceived as a legitimate criticism and what's not.
Yeah.
So then who decides what's legitimate or not?
That's also true.
If somebody doesn't want to see a same-sex relationship in their game and they give it a negative review in part because of that or wholly because of that, is that legit? It goes against their own personal principles. Perhaps
to me it's legit for them and for people that have the same feelings.
Right on. Okay.
I might not like it or agree with it, but I have no right to tell them they shouldn't think or feel that way.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
So you're kind of
and
dehumanizing people when you do that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Fox is right. You know, like sometimes I'll speak up about a game and people will be like, "Man, you're toxic," and I'm like, "No, that's like my opinion.
Wow.
Those are my thoughts.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about that game." Like,
why do they say that you're toxic though? They call you toxic. Why? What's behind that?
Yeah,
because
because you disagree and they don't want to find out why you disagree.
I think so.
Or
sometimes I don't come across as sweet. So
right. Well, to me,
like sometimes I'm just really, I've been told that I'm so honest I'm mean, and I'm like, well, I don't mean to be, or like my tone of voice will reflect something. Like I'll joke with my kids and they'll be like, I really don't know if you're serious right now or not. Like,
okay.
So it could be the way that I presented it, or my tone of voice, or the fact that because I don't agree with them, I'm suddenly toxic, because that's another thing.
Yeah, it's a quick label.
But again, it's just like you said, we've all gotten used to this kind of, well, it's this, and those are the words we use. So I mean, it just things are different for everybody. So
it's this wonderfully nebulous term that because of its nature, because of the fact that nobody can really define exactly what, or nobody wants to define exactly what review bombing is, it can just be kind of used situationally. If a game's doing badly because it deserves to do badly, it's a crap game that's buggy and the story is a mess, and the developers come out and attack fans, and then people give it negative reviews. Is that review bombing?
That's true. And
no, but can they say that it is in order to get sympathy?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
in order to justify to their investors, their shareholders, this is why the game's doing badly because of this campaign, assuming that by saying campaign, you're assuming that everybody got together and all agreed to do this. Can you prove that? It's I don't like seeing it used because it's another one of those terms that after a while just ends up being meaningless.
Yeah.
You think it's review bombing? Okay, fine. If you think that the burden of proof should be on you to demonstrate how it is review bombing, first define your parameters. This is what I think review bombing is, and then demonstrate these are all of the things that happened that are consistent with what I've laid out in my guidelines. If you can't do that, shut up and stop using the term. If you won't do that, shut up and stop using the damn term.
Yeah. We're gonna get back on the tracks here.
Sorry.
That was a good aside though.
It's okay though.
Yeah, and I do like the different opinions for sure, because it opens up a lot of areas we can go with this. We'll save that for another stream.
To mean something. I just want words to mean something. That's all. It's not too much to ask, is it?
We live in the wrong time for that, Nas.
Yeah. But wait, I'm gonna get to where we were looking at here. Ooh, okay, we're close. We're close. I'm gonna stop it at this one, and then we'll return back to it. Sweet.
We still have a chat message that's on screen.
Yes. No. It's I'm looking for one where it's all caught up. Okay. Yes. Okay. Lord Beerus. That first trailer for Scum looks somewhat like Rambo First Blood.
Because of the bow and arrow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Freaking Rambo. So good.
That arrow looked more like a bolt, I'm gonna be honest. Like a crossbow bolt.
Right on.
Like that thing was thick. And I used to shoot bows and arrows, and that did not look like a regular arrow.
Right on. Lord Beerus, it's Gamer Geek, Barks, and mashed potatoes makes her week. How's that for her intro? What the word?
But I don't drink Barks root beer all the time. I am today.
Cool. Very cool.
I had one.
He probably noticed that. He's
Yes, he did. And if I could eat mashed potatoes all day, every day, he knows that I would.
Oh, so he said, Lord Beerus, he says, boys, you got to talk about the horror game from last week that you wanted Gorgeous Geek to play and stream.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, A Quiet Place.
Place.
Yeah.
I plan on it.
Very cool.
All
right.
Yes.
With that being said, we will go ahead and skip to our first article. We're gonna start with the CrowdStrike thing, because it's just so crazy. What got me with this one was he's the CEO, and I was like, wow, this dude's net worth is like in the billions, but he is a co-founder also. So that helps with all that good stuff. But let's get to it. And this one is coming from Forbes, pinned by Stephen Pastis, or Stefan, however you pronounce it. Friday's tech outage hasn't just cut people around the world off from their precious files, locked up their bank accounts, and grounded their flights home. It has also taken a huge chunk out of George Kurtz's fortune. The billionaire co-founder, I know, right? Oh, for heavens, someone think about the billionaires. The billionaire co-founder and CEO.
That's actually what I was thinking.
They lost money. Now they have to get a smaller jet.
Yeah, I know, kidding, right? I won't be able to get, 5 yachts. I can only get 4 now. The cybersecurity company.
And I can't get that super yacht I was looking at. I'm gonna have to get the smaller super yacht.
Yeah.
It's hard being a billionaire.
It is. The cybersecurity company whose software sparked the outage, Kurtz's net worth has dropped by about $300 million as of 3 p.m. Eastern on Friday, as shares of CrowdStrike stock have plunged 11% since Thursday's close. Now, I took a look at the stock, and I want to say that it was still going down. It might have recovered a little bit, but yeah. I want to say, is this the one? CrowdStrike's fortune plunge. Wanted to get into here, hold on. Look, I wanted to get into the article about the freaking the $10 gift cards. We're gonna go there. CrowdStrike. This is so funny. Where are you? Jesus, resilience, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I thought maybe it'd be at the top, but it's not. Here we go. TechCrunch. Here we are. Now we got it. CrowdStrike offers a $10 apology gift card to say sorry for outage. The way they word this makes it seem like they're giving it to customers, but they're not. They're giving it to people who are working on the fixing the issue or whatever. But CrowdStrike, the cybersecurity firm.
Text.
Oh, this is from TechCrunch by Lorenzo Bishire. Sorry, buddy, that one's a hard one. CrowdStrike, the security firm that crashed millions of computers with a botched update all over the world last week, is offering its partners a $10 Uber Eats gift card as an apology, according to several people who say they received the gift card, as well as a source who also received one. Okay. On Tuesday, the source told TechCrunch that they received an email from CrowdStrike offering them the gift card because the company recognizes the additional work that the July 19th incident has caused. And for that, we send our heartfelt thanks and apologies for the inconvenience. The email read according to screenshots shared by the source. The same email was also posted on X by someone else to express our gratitude. Your next cup of coffee or late night snack is on us. Right?
Well,
Jeez.
I gotta say that $10 barely covers the delivery fee, buddy.
Dude, $10 is that's nothing. It was like,
who signed off on this?
No kidding.
Who signed off? Who thought this was a good idea?
As someone that studied network security and IT stuff, like, I can tell you honestly, when an outage like that goes out and stuff for continuity, and I mean, it even affected time clocks.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
what,
like you know, you get my spouse going to work talking about I can't clock in because it's outage.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Friday, and I was like, what? Like,
yeah, even Scotty, he had the same thing happen to him.
Yeah, and it's crazy, and you realize like how much went down, and I'm like, man, what about the hospital? Because like, even if the, you know, like the centrifuge goes down, you have all this backed up lab work and stuff. Like,
yeah,
it's crazy. You
all
know,
the people that had to miss their flights and the delays that those caused.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
You know, surgeries being canceled.
Exactly, and it was just insane, and like, it definitely exposed how bad, like, how badly interconnected we are, and how we have no control over continuity when it comes to using a big firm like that to do so much stuff. You know, and then of course the techs became this unsung hero because they're figuring out something to how to fix what your company did wrong, and then you're going to insult them with a $10 gift card.
Right on.
Like,
yeah. Oh,
to me personally, my opinion is that it was an insult.
Yeah.
To be like, here's your $10. First of all, we can barely get a gallon of milk for under $10 lately.
Yeah. But adding on to that, we did send these to our teammates and partners who have been helping customers through this situation. Uber flagged it as fraud because of high usage rates. Benachi said in an email. That is probably the kicker right there. That's
you know, and I can see that happening because I don't know if y'all remember, but remember when Baltimore, the government got hacked?
Oh, no.
and they put a ransom on it, and Baltimore wouldn't pay.
Oh my.
And but the thing is that all of their emails went down, so they had to turn to Gmail and try to get all these email addresses. Well, they got flagged because there were so many email addresses being created.
They probably thought it was
because of
bots.
this. Yeah, and so Google actually had to get with the city of Baltimore and work something out, because like at first it was just such a high influx of emails that were so similar and in this one area that it got flagged as fraud and, you know, a thing. So I could see Uber Eats doing that, but you would think that they would. You would think that if I'm me personally, if I'm going to be like, I'm going to give you $30 in McDonald's coupons, and I'm giving it to 100 million people. You think I'm gonna call and be like, "Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is my promotion."
They released an update that crippled a lot of like IT infrastructure the world over. I don't really know how good they are at planning ahead.
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
although
this
one
was-
ampersand can cause something to go crazy in coding. So
this was a Hail Mary attempt, is what this was. This was out of desperation. It's what
Yeah, it was.
Whole, I had a thought like you know how the term insult to injury, right? That's pretty much what this is.
Yeah.
And the Uber Eats card just getting deactivated is like the insult to the insult to injury. It's
that's
so
like
three layers
that's like
of
a
insults right there.
I don't know. It to me it reminds me of somebody that sees your broken arm and goes up and smacks it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't
like-
think it wasn't intentional. They thought they were doing a good thing, you know.
Well, of course it wasn't intentional, but it's still.
There was
If it was me, I ordered something from Uber Eats and they said, "Oh, fraud," I would be cussing up a storm.
Yeah, that should have been swiftly taken care of by CrowdStrike. They should have came in and was like, "Oh no, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not fraud. Don't do that."
Yeah.
But don't do this. Don't give people a piddly ass. I mean, I know probably someone who's not really thinking straight is thinking, well, we got to do something. We have to give them something. No, you don't. Because what you've done is you've insulted people, and you've got this headline that talks about how you've basically insulted people. The recompense that you're offering pales in comparison to the damage that you caused. You can't hope to compete with that. You can't hope to mollify that. You have to just say, we're sorry. We're really, really sorry. We'll do everything we can to make sure this never happens again.
Exactly.
And
that's the only way.
Anything that happens as far as people demanding compensation, you take that offline. You deal with them individually if they've got a case. If you want to keep them as a customer, you don't do it in the public.
Nope.
True.
Nope.
Because bad things can happen, and all it gets you is bad press. And I can't believe that companies like that, they have PR.
You think
that is their whole job.
They either don't have PR or their PR sucks. Who signed off on this?
I don't know. Or it could have been like, maybe it was the CTO decided that she was going to sign off on it, and
has she dealt with human beings before?
And the CFO didn't think. Come on, us techie people get kind of nerdy and weird.
Well, I know.
We don't always think right.
But I'm assuming that they've had some meaningful interaction with human beings before, right?
Listen, I don't know the last time that I had some form of meaningful interaction with human beings other than virtually with you guys. So
yeah. Right on.
Come on, think about it.
But even you would know better than to know that this is a good idea.
I would, but I'm smart.
It's a bad one. so bad. Let's move into our next article real quick. This one is Xbox basically kind of soft rolling into adding ad tiers into Game Pass, or just into their structure, their model, how they're doing things.
Which means I would not meet with Xbox ever.
That's
not doing ads.
It's scary. It's scary out here. But we have this by GameSpot, penned by George Yang. Now, this is just a lot. It feels too much for me, so I'm going to use Pocket for this. And I went ahead and highlighted this, and we're going to be taking another look at the Rolling Stone article. I sent it to you guys in chat. We're going to be looking at that same one. So Xbox is expanding ad base in cloud exclusive Game Pass tiers. Whatever. As for an ad-based tier, Microsoft is reportedly only exploring the option rather than actively working towards it. This tier would be aimed at users who don't want to spend money on Game Pass at all, but still want access to the games. I'm not sure what that means. Once you have to,
I'm assuming it would be like
ad-based tier.
Yeah,
well, that's
I'm
what
assuming
saying,
it
right?
would be like when you with mobile games, I want the free version, so I'm going to be stuck with all these ads.
Oh my god!
In the middle of my gameplay, and then you can pay like X amount for a month or X amount for this.
But-
It's basically like, yeah, I can see where they're coming at for that. They're going to make more off the ad revenue, most likely, than they would by selling the subscription.
Yeah.
However, like, it's also, to me, the customer, I feel bullied by you when you put a bunch of ads and stuff. You say it's free,
Yeah.
but you give me ads, and I can hardly enjoy my gameplay because you put ads in there.
Yeah.
And I feel punished for not buying the game. I feel bullied into buying the full version, and that is exactly how I would feel
But
if
that's
Microsoft was like, you can play Game Pass, but
Yeah.
we're gonna put X amount of ads in here. I would feel like you were like putting a knee to my back while trying to detain me and making it to where I couldn't breathe,
Mhm.
you know, because you had to chase me down. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it just feels like, to me, ad-based stuff like that, you know, including with Amazon Prime now, like,
Mhm.
they're like, oh, we want more money, so we're going to put ads in here, but we're going to give you an option to pay $2 and get rid of ads. Well, it's going to be $2 for now.
Yeah.
Well, I already pay you enough for this service.
Mhm.
And
Well,
you're
they
going to
disagree.
throw, and you're going to throw in ads. And now I feel like you're bullying me into paying for no ads.
Yeah.
Well, you know, trust me, you make a crap ton of money. You do not need to charge extra for all this stuff.
Right. So with mobile gaming, that the ad thing, they're married together. It's been
I'm
ads in
aware.
mobile forever. Now with this,
That's why I don't mobile game.
that too. But my thing is, like, who's going for this? If you want Game Pass, like, you're going to get Game Pass. You're not going to go for a free one. You know what I mean? Like, oh, with ads, it's like we have enough of that with like streaming services, and people hate it. Why would this be a good idea? Let me turn it over to the Rolling Stone article, and this is Sarah Bond herself talking about ads in games. So we've talked about how we're experimenting with other models, like what does it mean for advertising in games, which is more prevalent in mobile, and their models of that work well in PC and console. Are there other models where you might have time slices of games and stuff like that? Providing creators with options and choice enables them to experiment and do what they like and actually create more immersive and creative experiences without having to fit into a model. Now, I have no idea what she means by that because it's like, sure, like anyone who's in the ecosystem and creating this stuff, you're sure they might be okay, but what about consumers? You know what I mean? And that's the biggest chunk missing out of all of this, is like they are not thinking about the consumer experience, and it's really frustrating. And she said this back in, how old is this article? Back in April of 2023. I made a video about this, and I was like, get ready for ads and games. Get ready. It's
Yeah.
good.
Well, I mean, it's clear that a lot of the stuff that's being done is not focused towards consumers lately.
Right.
Whether it's in the gaming
Mhm.
industry or not. So,
Yeah.
Say goodbye to your immersive experience.
I know.
yeah.
I wonder, because I think it's before she was moved up to president. I want to say she's president spot. She was like in charge of consumer experience, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's right.
Well, she forgets, apparently.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Was it so in some companies because that don't fire people, they move them into higher positions just so they're no longer a problem? And I wonder if that's the case here. Like, she's doing a crap job with the customer experience side of things,
Yeah.
so let's move her in a position where she can't do as much damage. Let's make her president of Xbox. Oh god.
As
Not
far
everybody's good at their job. You got to
that's true.
remember
That's true.
that.
Yeah. But I don't. As far as I don't know. I think the team that they have with Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, what's the other guy's name? I can't remember.
Phil Spencer?
No,
No.
it's Jim Ryan. No.
Oh,
So sorry,
that was Sony.
Yeah.
That was Sony, yeah.
I want to get his name, but he's the one that said we need more studios to make more award-winning games. What was that guy's name?
This is right after they got rid of Tango and
Yeah, I can't remember his
Who
name.
was that? Was that not Phil Spencer?
No.
I thought it was.
We need
I can't remember.
word studio or games, I guess. Give me a second. Here we go.
I hate when
Hi-Fi
people talk out of
Rush.
both sides of their mouth. Drives me nuts.
Where can I get his name? It just says exec. I love that. Just give me his name, brother.
Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Xbox Studios boss says it needs smaller, award-winning. Matt Booty.
Matt Booty. Thank
Matt
you.
Booty.
I was gonna say something,
How can we
but
forget a name like that?
I
Mr.
don't
Booty.
know. That's why I'm laughing. I'm like, booty.
Such a great name. I really, really envy that guy his name.
I know. All right, Baby Fox said she wants on stream. She's got opinions.
all right.
Aw.
But yes,
So precious. I love
she
when your
is.
kids
She
come
is
in
an
there.
absolute sweetheart. But yeah, that's Matt Booty.
He's got to say it that way.
Yeah,
I really don't understand how we forgot that.
me
I
neither.
don't know either.
It's like I was just tossing names out there. Jim Ryan. It was like not even close, buddy. Not
Yeah.
even close. But yeah,
Not even
Phil
close.
Spencer, Matt Booty, and Sarah Bond. I think that they're a pretty decent team over there. It's just, man, there's been
That's
a
because
lot
they
of.
got that booty moving.
Oh boy.
I know. And so it begins.
I had to try to do like one of those Beerus puns. It didn't work out.
Let it cook
Oh
a
my
little bit.
gosh!
You're gonna
I'm
get it.
hitting him.
But I don't know. As far as ads and games, I think they're going to be shooting themselves in the foot if they do that.
Agreed.
It's not a good thing. Nas, what say you?
I don't. I think people will get used to it after a while. I really wish that wasn't the case. I really wish people would just be like, you know what? Screw this. You're gonna have ads and games. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Right on.
But not everybody's like that.
I
That's
think
true.
you're right, but I'm not going to get used to it.
look at how things have gone with day one DLCs, microtransactions. Eventually, people just want to play their games, so they're willing to deal with increasing amounts of crap from AAA in order to just have access to their game. Like they keep putting these barriers in front and throughout that break your immersion a little bit.
Yeah.
Or whatnot. Don't give you the entire experience, but you just want to play your game. That's your goal. And they know that.
Yeah.
They know that that's your goal. So they're going to put in minor inconveniences as long as it makes them money. As long as it's not enough that you get to a point where you're like, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's like small children, really. They're going to keep pushing that line until the parent says, you know what, enough.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yep.
And then they'll relent for a bit.
Yeah.
For
Or
a
a
little
bit.
bit. Yeah, for
A
a
little bit. And then they'll come back. And then they'll try and get their greedy little tendrils into your gaming experience. It never ends. It never ends.
Yeah.
Until we say, you know what, we do not want this collectively.
Yep.
Gamers across all platforms say we do not want these ads in our games because we can't enjoy the game fully with them.
Yep.
And we will not stand for this. How that takes shape, I don't know. Could it take shape? Possibly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm starting to feel like there's a grim reality where this is just going to happen and we're just going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
I really wish that weren't the case.
Oh yeah.
I would love to be more hopeful about this, but I just don't know if I can.
I'm right there
Well,
with
like
you.
I said, it seems like they're beating you down and punishing you.
Yeah.
And you're exactly right. Eventually, you do get tired of it. You do cave.
They're
to a
extorting
degree.
our love of games.
Yes. Absolutely. That's why I get on violent games with rocket launchers and pretend it's them.
Yeah. I think what'll happen, but you might be right, Nas. Well, I think you
I
are.
really hope I'm not.
What I think that's one part of what's going to happen. The other part, I believe that people will just go back into playing older games that don't have these kinds of the ad tiers and things like that. I think we'll have to see, but I think that's what Xbox is going to see with this one. People won't be joining Xbox Game Pass as you know, because it's already tapering off. I think they might see a screech or a halt in it, you know. But I think we saw a graphic that said like 60% of gamers were playing older games, you know, but cleaning out their backlogs, you know, not playing new AAA games coming out. So we might see something like that happen.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm hoping. And that's why I love that we're here sounding the alarm right now. Yeah.
That's honestly what got me into that got me out of AAA and got me towards just playing indie and retro games, is just because I want the experience of playing a game that's fun all the way through.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be bogged down with having to sign into some stupid ass service that doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
And dealing with all of that crap and basically just being built for everything. No thanks.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other places I can get that treatment. I don't need that in my games too.
100%.
Go away.
Yeah.
That's why I love Nintendo games. Like everybody's like, even the newer ones and the remakes and stuff like that. Because guess what? I don't have to deal with all y'all people. Because Nintendo's still in their old world, acting like it's still the 80s. Like, I'm gonna be over here doing my thing.
And I hope they keep that. I hope they maintain that throughout.
Really do, because I've never been just ticked off with Nintendo, to be honest with you. Like, I've always just had fun, been happy-go-lucky. I definitely have less hate with Sony with my PlayStation. I don't know why, but that's just how it is for me. And so, I mean, but Sony and Xbox could lose me, whereas right now, the way Nintendo goes, they're still gonna have me for life. So
yeah. All right. Shall we move on to our? Oh, go for it. Sorry, Nas.
I was just gonna say quickly, like Microsoft and Sony are doing absolutely nothing to make me want to buy another console from them or buy any physical product from them. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I get that.
Right on. Let's say we move on to our last topic, and this one is covering the SAG-AFTRA strike for the game industry. Worrying stuff. We'll cover, you know, the whole kit and caboodle. What are, you know, these game devs, or, you know, not the devs per se, but the performers. What are these performers? What do they want to see changed in the game? We'll look at all that. This was coming from the Los Angeles Times. Video game actors are on strike. Here's what that means. And this is being penned by Samantha Musunaga and Christy Carras. Carras? Okay. Yes. The Screen Actors Guild American Federation of Television and Radio artists called a walkout this week on behalf of roughly 2,600 actors doing voiceover, motion capture, and other work in the game industry. Union leaders took the step after they could not reach an agreement on artificial intelligence terms while bargaining for a new contract with the top video game companies, including Activision, Electronic Arts, Insomniac, and Blind Light. Quote, "We're not going to consent to a contract that allows companies to abuse AI to the detriment of our members," SAG-AFTRA President Fran Drescher said in a statement Thursday. Enough is enough. I'm wondering... Okay, this is July 24th. Anyway, that might have been what she said for the Hollywood one, because they had some similar grievances.
I think it's the same or related union.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've seen some actors talking about like contracts as far as using their likeness and their voice after they die.
Yes.
And then we see stuff like we did with the last Star Wars trilogy, you know, where they've used like the old Obi-Wan's voice. and stuff
Oh.
like that. They pieced together old stuff. They did something similar with now when they did the footage with Leia, they had a lot of footage that they cut and scrapped and didn't use.
Right.
But they got with Carrie Fisher's daughter, Billie Lourd,
Mhm.
and asked permission.
Right.
They asked for her guidance
Yeah.
when it came to that last movie. And they actually used her as a body double
Yeah.
to play her mom, and then used AI to do different things. So
Yeah.
with that, that's fine because you went to the next of kin and you got permission.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I've seen stuff where there's actors talking about, well, what if you decide to use my image and my voice for movies and I'm dead and this and that, like how does that go towards my estate or my family or whatnot?
Mhm.
And the problem is that with the video game industry, we've already seen
Mhm.
that they're taking advantage of AI and other things and trying to cut costs as far as how many developers they have on a team, this and that.
Mhm.
They would absolutely use recordings that they own because they've paid for it
Mhm.
of these actors, piece them together and create a new script for voice acting. They can absolutely do that. And
Yeah.
I think that's what they're trying to prevent right now,
Mhm.
is them being able to use all those scans and continue to use them for whatever they want without compensating the artists.
Right.
And that's the really bad thing. It's kind of like if Spotify was just making money off of using my music, or like with Napster, that's why
Mhm.
Metallica got so bent out of shape. It's like we're not getting anything for the hard work and the creativity that we did.
Yeah.
So
Well, there's also another part of it with generative AI is using a voice actor's voice to train an AI, so they never have to hire that person again.
exactly,
Or they can
exactly.
offer
So
them
they're
a
making money.
pittance.
They're making money hand over fist, and the
Mhm.
artist is not making any money.
Which are real concerns.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Because I mean, if you've heard some of the voices generated by AI, they can sound
Oh yeah,
fairly convincing.
Mhm.
and they can do deep fakes, and it'll look like you did this or that. It's
Yeah.
scary.
I understand them wanting them to get these terms in black and white.
Yes.
As far as what this can mean for them going forward, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it always feels like this with this. The genie's out of the bottle,
Yes.
and
Yep.
we're just gonna have to deal with this.
Yeah.
And it's basically the actors or whoever versus the companies who have no real reason to want to do anything other than make money.
Yep.
That's their primary goal. Always is. Always was. Always will be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This
So
is not gonna slow down or stop any. And a lot of people is like, use AI to help you in what you're doing. That way you can get ahead of the curve, because this technology is here now. Is here now. So use it to your benefit. I think there should be legislation introduced for this kind of thing. Let the eggheads up in Washington or do you still do Parliament? You guys do Parliament?
Yeah, they have Parliament.
In Canada, yes.
Canada.
See,
let you guys.
Theorist, Canada. Not said it.
Mhm.
He liked it. He thought it was funny. You go
I
somewhere with yourself. We had an
I speak for
argument
all.
about
I speak
Canadian.
for all Canadians, as we all know.
Yeah, well, we were talking, and he was just like, "It's stupid and this and that, and it sounds like this." And I was just
Yes,
like,
it is, but it's still funny.
Canada is awesome. It's funny,
Mhm.
and he was just like, "No," and I said, "Us likes it."
Yeah.
Both things can be true. It can be stupid and funny. Lots of things are.
Yeah, like me,
But as far as like what they can do about this, legislation is gonna have to be passed. There's no way we can depend on these companies to, do the right thing as far as when it comes to saving money, hiring an actor to fill that same spot, or you can use AI. They're going to use AI. So we need something to protect these artists from this.
The issue though is
Mhm.
so and it's interesting because there was another article related to this one,
Mhm.
and it kind of works because this kind of goes into that.
Mhm.
what if, okay, suppose the US says you can't, suppose the US enacts legislation that protects actors and prevents their likenesses from being used to train or used in any way without the approval of the person's voice.
Yeah.
Great. Cool. Awesome that legislation exists. We'll just produce our game somewhere else. We'll just go to another country where the laws are different. Because right now, if you want to work on a project, so the UK version of this union isn't going on strike. So you could just move your production to the UK and get it done there using union employees. Same thing was happening during like the big SAG-AFTRA strike. A lot of productions were moving to the UK to produce there.
Yeah, because BAFTA stuff wasn't on strike, right?
No, I don't believe they were.
No, they couldn't have been because we still got Doctor Who.
Such as it was.
BAFTA.
You did, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was the SAG-AFTRA and the WGA, the Writers Guild. They were the ones on strike.
Yeah, the writers were the big part of that one.
Yeah. So it says how do we get, oh, we already read that. So how will this affect the video game companies? Much like last year's Hollywood writers and actors strikes against the film and TV studios and streaming services, this one could potentially lead to long-term production lulls, particularly for games scheduled for release in 2025 or 2026. Production is expensive and on a tight schedule. In reality, that doesn't give video game companies a lot of margin to sit this out, said Joost van Drunen, and an adjunct assistant professor at NYU Stern School of Business and author of One Up, Creativity, Competition, and the Global Business of Video Games. For instance, companies can't afford to miss out on the all-important holiday spending season. November and December traditionally account for about half of the annual game sales, he said. That's ridiculous. If you don't get things across the line, if you can't finish your work and release it on time, you're going to miss a very, very important window, and that's going to hurt you financially, Van Drunen said. But not all games are covered by the strike. According to contract provisions, games that were in production when the union provided the company with notice of its termination are not subject to the strike order, according to SAG-AFTRA spokesperson. So I guess that does mean 2026 games are probably going to be, and beyond, are going to be the ones that are most affected by this. If they're almost done and they're coming out in 2025, that's,
that's if they decide to, like, I don't.
So like games like GTA and stuff.
Yeah, GTA is probably fine. Yeah, go ahead, Nuss. Yeah.
Well, again, I remember hearing that they're exempt. They're exempt from the strike, so they can still employ union people.
Very cool.
So what I'm wondering is how many are going to go non-union, because there's so many non-union voice actors out there. So a lot may shift to that. And I know technically I think it's considered scabbing, but so that might scare some people away from participating in these projects, but not everybody.
Yeah,
it's true, because that's the same thing like with some of the actors, like Resident Evil girl, so I'm going to use that as an example. A lot of the, like, Leon Kennedy's voice actor, Jill's voice actor, all of that, they were replaced in the remakes because there were actors that were cheaper and they weren't part of the union and so forth, so they got replaced and they have new voice actors now. And that was like a big thing with the original voice actors, as well as a lot of hardcore fans. It really upset them.
Understandably so.
Which we don't often think about, like, the writers and the actors that are doing all this. We just see the games and we're just like, blah 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 blah. So I mean, I get the whole strike thing, but I also think that Nos is right. Just like how it was cheaper to go with different actors, they can go with people that aren't in a union, or that are willing to do it without joining a union and have that in their contract so that they can't, or whatever it may be. So
I
think it's harder for the gaming industry to strike.
I just want to. I want it to be known. I don't think they should do this. I think that
Oh,
these companies and unions should should bargain in good faith as
Yeah.
to achieve a result that benefits everybody, because otherwise it's just going to be a mess that you have to clean up.
Yeah.
And I just want to go back to
Agreed.
playing games and enjoying games, talking about games, and not talking about politics and
Yeah.
stuff like this.
Well, it goes back to that whole greed.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
But hang on, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you're not just dealing with one side of greed here. Both sides want theirs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so what's next? As of Friday, SAG-AFTRA video game actors are barred from lending their services to any struck games. Those services may include acting, singing, dancing, stunts, motion capture, auditions, camera tests, rehearsals, authorizing the use of one's voice or likeness, background, and stand-in work. Covered performers are also prohibited from promoting struck games via social media, interviews, conventions, festivals, award shows, podcast appearances, or any other platform. Holy crap. The ongoing San Diego Comic-Con has been exempt from this rule due to its proximity to the strike announcement. Very cool. The union has indicated that it will also hold pickets as part of the walkout. Only time will tell how long it will take the union and the companies to reach a tentative agreement and end the work stoppage. The last strike by video game actors stretched on for nearly a year, from October 2016 to September 2017. Back then, AI had yet to become a major concern, and performers were pushing for residual-like payments based on video game sales, similar to how film and TV actors are compensated for their work. Van Drunen said companies would likely try to resolve the contract negotiations by September, but at the latest by the end of the year, before answering to investors during their next earnings calls. And that's Samantha Masunaga. And Christy Caras. I'm gonna go with Caras. So we're looking at delays for games. Now, one of the points that came out after the Hollywood strike was that these companies were shoring up investments. So what they would do is less people in writers' rooms, less projects being made at one time. They were going for quote unquote more quality than quantity. So what we might see after this, and there is an article that I wanted to look at about the aftermath of all this, and you can tell the run-of-the-mill actor who might have lost their house while this thing was going on because they couldn't work. They said that it was a death knell for them. They and the writer of the article asked them, would you do it all over again? And a lot of them said no. Now, the people who are already established, they've got their quote unquote bag, as the kids say. They were like, heck yeah, no, it was great. If I would do it all over again if I had to. That's coming from a very privileged standpoint. But the people who depended on these working, they said no, it was an absolute gut punch. I would not do it again. I don't have it up, but I'll look it up after this. Right.
Whenever
exactly.
whenever you've got this type of union, like look at a good example of this is like the NFLPA.
Yeah.
For example, you've got a handful of, well, not really a handful, but you've got your top tier players who are making millions and millions of dollars who can hold out on a strike.
Yes.
Because they've got a ton of money that they're making.
Yeah.
Right. And then you've got your regular rung of guys who are making less than $1 million.
Yeah.
Who can't withstand this, who can't sustain this length of a strike.
Yep.
Right. Who are pushing for negotiations to be completed from their own members, their own union stewards and negotiators and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it sucks because this type of situation, you already have haves and have nots, and then they end up fighting. And because they're pressuring the more established, wealthier people to negotiate in good faith, it kind of accelerates how quickly they come to the bargaining table, and it kind of limits how much they can ask for because they're on a bit of a time crunch because a lot of their members are going to be broke if nothing happens.
Yes. Yep.
Same thing with actors.
Yep. Exactly.
Which for the writers, it's really bad, and part of their strike, because you can have somebody that wrote like every episode on Friends, for example. You could have somebody like that, and they could be getting a royalty check for like $600 a month because they weren't compensated for that. But then you've got like $20,000 a month coming in for the actors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's really bad. Like the lower level devs and actors and stuff like that, or people that don't have royalties built into their, like, I don't think video games have royalties built into their stuff. But yeah, it can be really bad, and it can be, a strike definitely hits you in the pocketbook for the person that's trying to get the rights. So they need to try to get it done as quickly as possible, like Nas said. But I don't know. It kind of is what it is. I just hope that they get squared away and better treatment.
Yeah.
These are always tricky situations, and it's easy to just drive by and think, oh, I understand exactly what's going on, even though I'm not a voice actor, I'm not a developer. I know because of, how you feel about unions or how you feel about greedy corporations, all that stuff. But it is so much more of a nuanced issue, and there's so much more to it than what you even read in articles.
Yeah.
It's not something that you can make a drive-by judgment about.
Right.
It would be great if you could.
Yeah.
But the reality is not that. The reality is you're talking about people's lives, and not every single one of these voice actors is a greedy SOB who just wants more money.
Exactly.
Yep. Some of these people just do it as a side hustle or whatnot.
And I mean, the implications of all this might not go in their favor. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people might lose their house because of this, or their ability to feed their family, and what happens after that, the game industry might shrink. We're heading towards something big now. And in the present of all this, they can't get games out. Some of these might go defunct, some of these studios. So, and then where are you going to work
like
then?
The small new startups.
Yeah, the smaller start. You know what I'm saying. So it's like, on one side is you're striking during, inflation's high. The margins for these games are already like razor thin, and then you strike, and then all of a sudden that goes away, and then there goes your opportunity with it. You know what I mean? So it could hurt you possibly. On the other side, there needs to be protections for these people. There needs to be a wage, a living wage. Like, I did a video about the discrepancy between Jim Ryan and Cory Barlog and Christopher Judge. Cory Barlog made $4 million for God of War. Christopher Judge made $1 million for voicing Kratos. But Jim Ryan, he made upwards, I want to say his salary was $12 million, and he got like $100 million worth of stock in Sony. So the man is paid, okay? He doesn't have to worry about anything for the rest of his life. Not saying $4 million is nothing, but for a game that made $800 million, holy crap, it seemed like a whole heck of a lot. So I say all that to say there needs to be protections. They need to be paid from the top down, decent wages. You know what I mean? And this AI thing is a really scary prospect. It is really scary. And there needs to be some kind of protections for these actors as far as that goes. I don't mind these companies saying, hey, you can use AI to help you write to do the little things that you don't want to spend time doing, or it's tedious and it takes a lot of time. Help us move faster in this process. Help us move faster in making this game. Use this as a tool. I don't mind that. Yeah. As far as them like replacing their voices and, using their likeness, that cannot go forward. That can't.
No.
They can't.
No,
do that.
That's just wrong, because then they're making hand over fist money without ever having to pay for, you do it once, and then suddenly you've just got whatever you got.
Yeah.
Just wait until. Sorry, go ahead, Gigi.
Oh, I was gonna say like the whole voice actor thing kind of reminds me of with the Mandalorian with Pedro Pascal.
Mhm.
He only voices it.
Yeah.
He doesn't walk in the suit. He doesn't do any of it.
Mhm.
It's kind of adorable. He holds a little pillow and pretends it's Baby Yoda.
Hilarious.
And it's really cute. And they wanted to pay him voice actor pay, which I don't remember. I can't find.
Is that why he took
the
his
amount.
mask off?
Yes, that's exactly what it was. At the end of season 1, when he took his mask off in
Mhm.
that scene, that's how he got around the voice actor pay. So instead of getting, say it was like $20,000 per episode for a voice actor,
Yeah.
he's getting the $600,000 per episode because he has had his face on camera. You know, like Disney for sure only wanted to pay him voice actor salary instead of the
I
other
get it.
salary because he wasn't going to be on camera. And it's
That's-
things like that that just blow my mind. Like,
I'm sorry, that seems really greedy to me. Not gonna lie, like the fact that it's like, what's wrong with getting, you know, voice actor pay for voicing a character? You know what I mean? It's like you have all these other projects lined up, you know. So what's wrong with getting paid voice actor pay for voicing a character? I don't think there's anything wrong.
I get what you're saying
what you're
there.
worth.
Yeah,
you get what
with
you're
that too.
worth. I mean, Pedro Pascal is, you know, everybody knows who he is now.
I get what you're
exactly.
saying. However,
Mhm.
to play kind of a devil's advocate on it,
Yeah.
you know that this is going to be huge because it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know that it's going to be huge because Disney puts money out there and does all sorts of stuff to get money, right? I would want to figure out a way to get more money out of it because I would know like that's like me that would be like me voice acting something knowing that I'm getting paid $20,000 but you're about to make 7 million on it.
Right on.
Like
But we'll,
I want more of that 7 million because I'm the voice and the face of this.
right on.
You know, like it doesn't matter if he was in the suit or not.
Yeah.
He could have just said I was in the suit and had it written into his contract that nobody would say who was in the suit, you know what I mean? And
I mean,
you know, and something like that, but you know, just the craziness of it all. Like I think what it is it goes to them. Like I agree with your whole that's greedy.
well,
You
I
know,
mean, all he had to
but-
do was like negotiate for a higher salary for voice actors. He didn't have
Yeah.
to, because what that did was just kind of break the immersion of Mandalorians never taking their mask off. That's all it did.
To a degree, but it also showed his extreme love for this little guy, you know, Baby Yoda. Like,
Well,
yeah, like it was the whole purpose of him taking the mask off was for him.
I'd have to go back and rewatch that. But like, I'm sure good writers can write around that. But if it was just so Patrick Pascal could make more money to, you know, not get voice actor pay, I think that's really selfish because it does not. Because I remember that was a big thing. You know, Mandalorians aren't supposed to take their freaking helmets off in front of other people.
Never,
Never.
ever.
So
It's
like,
but another thing for
killed
me is
Mhm.
how hard is it, seriously, to get those emotions through just your voice?
That's one of the reasons why he should have been paid more as a voice actor, because
I
it is
know.
hard work.
I don't think that voice actors should be on this. Here's your Happy Meal pay
Right.
versus your expensive, fancy 6-course meal
Yep.
pay.
Yeah.
Like that's not okay.
And
It's
that's-
really hard to do voice acting.
100%.
And
Yes.
I think that voice actors should be compensated way better than they are.
Like V for Vendetta, that guy should have gotten super paid for that, because being able to evoke those kind of emotions with a mask on, no one ever seeing your face, dude, it is an art within itself, and it should get paid that way. And that's one of the things I'm okay with the SAG-AFTRA going after, increasing the pay, especially for like those bigger projects, you know, like the Grand Theft Auto franchise, who's probably going to make $1 billion in the first week. The voice actors should get paid, and they should be able to get residuals from that work. I truly believe that. You might disagree, anyone out there in the audience, but they should.
I believe you should get royalties on your
royalties.
Work
That's what I meant.
Living, that's living on after you. You know,
100%.
like getting. You know, it's kind of like, look at it this way. You might say that the voice actors are being greedy. However, the developer is going to get their pay, and they're going to get their pay continuously, and they're going to get money continuously on sales. You know what I mean? For a while, the actors are going to get that one lump sum, and that's it. To me, that's not fair.
Well, yeah. As far as their salaries and working on projects at there, I don't know if devs get like residuals from games.
I don't know.
But like, yeah, they have a salary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Voice actors, it's gig work, so you have to be
But
bouncing.
you got to remember, like, you know, the devs. I mean, the people that are programming it might not,
right?
But that company sure is.
Oh yeah.
The studio sure is.
Oh yeah.
You can ask for
You know
this.
what I mean? Like,
That's the thing. You can ask for this, and then companies will just go non-union because it's easier. They're allowed to flex their budget a little bit further as a result.
Yeah.
You can demand all of this stuff, even if you were the most talented voice actor in the world. Doesn't mean they have to give it to you.
That's 100%. And that's one of the I like the collective bargaining behind it. As far as unions trying to hold these companies over a barrel, not sure I agree with that. But the idea, just coming together, say, hey, these are the changes we want to see. If you don't make those changes, we're all walking out. And not using a union to back them, I think that might go further than having a union backing you. But I am woefully ignorant on like how all of this stuff works. But just from the outside looking in, collective bargaining, I think that's fantastic. You know, get the things that you want to see change. You know, some things,
it's a good idea in concept.
Yeah, right. Some things you're asking for might be to the moon and back or absurd to, you know, to anyone else, you know, from the outside looking in. And that might be the things that you can't give them. But, you know, there are some things that is truly an issue. And there are some things that need to change 100%. We hear about crunch all the time with these companies. You know, that needs to change. That's not unreasonable. You know what I mean? For like a voice actor, if he's like, let's say a small project, and he's like, I won't do this unless I'm getting like a $500K salary. It's like dog,
Okay.
that's the game is not probably, you know, a small indie studio.
Yeah.
It's like, the game's not going to make that much. We can't do that. It's like, that's asking too much. And we as humans do that sometimes, you know what I mean? But there are some real issues that need to change. And like you said, Nas, on both sides, there are some things that are just kind of unreasonable, absurd, you know.
There always are.
I know there's always, like I said, I know there's always the temptation to look at this from the outside and think you have an idea of what's going on, but you don't.
Yeah.
Unless you are involved and in the negotiating room, and you have all of the backstory that led to this point. It's really hard to accurately have an idea.
Yeah.
So I know that anytime a subject of unionization and collective bargaining comes up, there's always some people that are like, well, these unions are just greedy. Are you sure it's just them?
100%.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's everybody.
Yeah.
We're all greedy to
We're
an
all
extent,
out for
you know?
ourselves to some degree.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah,
we're selfish.
Like,
yeah.
By
that's
nature,
like for
we are.
me.
We have to be.
Yeah. For me, I'm greedy for my games.
You
know what I
Selfishness
mean?
is a survival trait. It's just that there's a certain point where it goes beyond the pale. Like, it goes way too far.
Yeah.
But being selfish on its own isn't inherently a bad thing. You care about
100%.
yourself so you can care about others. Of course,
That's
you
right.
have to have some level of selfishness.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
And again,
go for it. Sorry.
I was gonna say, and again, it's like, you know, Nos has a different way of thinking and viewpoints, but he helps me kind of be like, oh yeah, you know what? Let me think on that, you know?
Yes.
Just like you do. Just like I might, I don't know.
You do. No, you do.
So, you know, when we're discussing all this stuff, we're just looking at this news and then trying to decipher ourselves, get you guys to think etc. So it's not like we're being like, oh yeah, this strike's for sure happening. But I like that, like in the article you were reading, it was the, hey, San Diego Comic-Con is right around the corner.
Yeah.
Things have already been set up. It's not, they're showing a great amount of forward thinking in the, you're not gonna just strike and not be able to go to this because it's already set up.
Yeah.
People have already bought their tickets.
Yes.
People have already, paid for the panels. People have already paid for autographs and stuff like that. So they're not just being greedy little jerks and being like, well, you get nothing because we need to try to make this point and try to get, stuff for our actors.
Yeah.
So they're actually like thinking about fans in that respect, and themselves because they make money off of these appearances and off of autographs and pictures, all this other stuff. So yes, they're thinking for themselves, but at the same time, for me, like I have a lot more respect because they're like, hey, the San Diego Comic-Con is coming up, so we need to do this, or these games are already under this contract, or they're already set for this timeline, so no, that these aren't included. They could have been jerks and been like, we're not doing anything whatsoever, including current projects.
That would have looked terribly.
It would have looked absolutely terribly, and that is probably why they didn't do it. But for me, I try not to focus on obscure motives too much, just because I don't want to be that jaded person.
Yes.
Embrace it. Embrace it.
Embrace the
but
curmudgeon.
That's what I have you on my
Embrace
shoulder
it.
for.
I know, Nuz. This
fair.
is it.
That's fair.
Yes.
That's
I know
anyway.
what I'm here for.
See, I got you on the one shoulder as the devil's advocate, and I got Fox on the other one, my little angel.
Aw.
And
Okay, that works.
and then I'm in the middle, and I'm a little bit of both, especially when Beerus opens his mouth.
He has. We'll get to that.
Oh yes, I already jumped in chat because I had to.
I
just
did see you in there.
Not do it. I know I saw you laughing, and I was like, he must have gotten to our stuff.
Yes. I was looking through the chat. Yeah. It's hilarious.
But yeah, like to me, like it just makes me have more respect for them because they did consider San Diego Comic-Con and all that, because it's wildly expensive. Like I don't think I'll ever be able to afford to go, but it is a dream of mine, to be able to go to the San Diego Comic-Con and see people and get these autographs and stuff like that. So
it's super cool.
Nos is right. It's because it would have looked really crappy. It would not have helped their cause. So it was self-serving that they did it this way. But for people like me that try to see like some positive in it, it just makes me have respect for them.
Yeah.
Because they did think about that. Because some people they're just so much about themselves that they don't think about stuff like that. They don't think about the optics.
Yeah.
Right. Or they think people will just agree with me.
Yes.
They make inappropriate assumptions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They pull a geek and say, I'm right.
Yeah. So real quick, if like San Diego Comic-Con game industry stuff, who would you like pay good money to see in person? I want to ask that out.
Well, it's an easy one for me. Nobody.
Saw that comment.
It's not. It's not because I just don't like anybody. It's just I don't want to pay to see somebody. To me, that's just a really strange idea.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I take people as they are. I'll talk to anybody. So if someone's there and I can talk to, I'll talk to them like a real person. But I'm just not the type of person to get starstruck about anything.
Gotcha.
And I'm not going to pay to talk to somebody unless they're a doctor or a lawyer, and I have to.
I think I would if I had more money. But my thing is like, if I decide to go to Sweden, I'm probably going to see the voice actor and character model for, well, not voice actor, but the character model for Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West.
That's fair.
I have a friend on X/Twitter who actually met her, like just walking the streets.
Oh,
there she was.
Oh
and he got a picture with her and everything like that. He went by the studio. I know, I would have fangirled so bad.
Yeah.
But he went by the studio and everything, got to see stuff. And
so
I was
dope.
like, that's awesome, you know, but he got that completely for free. except when you
Yes.
think about the fact that it was an airline ticket, passports,
Mhm.
travel,
Right.
hotel,
But he wasn't going
all this other
specifically to
stuff.
see her, was he?
Yeah, so technically, like he still paid.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because he went to a different country than he was from.
Mhm.
You know, he had the passports, he had to eat, sleep, you
Mhm.
know, all that other stuff. So if you think about it, like he didn't get it for free.
Right, right.
You know, I think like the only time I think I met a celebrity for free was like legitimately free was Mark Wahlberg. You know, because
Oh, yeah,
I was
you
a
mentioned that
kid
before.
and my best friend's dad was a DJ, so like I literally there was no money involved. Like I just walked in, saw him, realized
cool.
how short he was. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's all of Hollywood. It's like no one
Yeah,
is ever as
I
tall
know.
as you think they are, except probably The
Mhm.
Rock. That dude's a giant person.
He probably is big.
Yeah.
Like
He's
real
like
tall.
6'2",
Like,
6'3", I think.
but again, like
John
anybody
Batista. Those guys.
yeah,
Ridiculous.
anybody compared to my average female height of 5'4" thinks that stuff is like giant. Like, man,
Yeah. All right.
I hate.
Let's get into the comments. We're gonna finish out.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'll ask you guys like, you know, final thoughts on everything. So
Ooh.
save up for that one. But
I'm gonna try.
Johnny BZ, Fox, that was Bulk and Skull. Yes. There was a 30-year anniversary of the show with them still in the TV show. Ridiculous. So crazy. So Bulk and Skull, the big guy and the skinny guy from Power Rangers. Lord Beerus. I don't care if it's Velveeta cheesy or not. I am an Mighty Morphin Power Ranger fan for life. Same here. But I can recognize if like whether you're wearing
I'm not saying it's
rose-colored
bad. I'm
glasses
saying
or
it's not
yeah.
for me. It's not for me,
Is
and
it-
I have my reasons.
He said, "Don't bash." Hold on, wait. Don't bash Taylor Beerus. Oh,
Yeah, that's the quickest way to piss me off and turn me into a cussing, angry little elf is bash my Taylor Swift.
he said, "Don't bash Mighty Morphin Power
unless
Rangers."
you're
geek."
Bunny, unless you're Bunny.
Do you remember what was it? Was it Hellboy? Yeah, the 1st Hellboy movie,
Mhm.
where they're in. It's towards the end of the movie, and Elizabeth Sherman is telling that agent guy, "You need to hit me," and then
Stop.
he does,
Mhm.
and then she gets all flamey,
Yeah,
turns into Fire Lady.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's for her. That's for Gigi. It's like you got to insult Taylor Swift, and then
Yes.
she'll get angry.
Yes. I'll be like that dude in Fantastic Four. Flame on. Like,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
You mean Captain America?
No.
Yeah.
The same guy.
Oh yeah.
yes. It was the same actor. Yes. I thought you meant the hero. I was
Bro.
about to just
It's like Storm.
disconnect. I wasn't even gonna say goodbye. I was just gonna drop right off the screen.
Johnny Storm, right?
It was something. or
Johnny
other.
Storm. It was Sue Storm's brother.
Yes. Yeah. Blame on. But that is hilarious. Like, because they're coming out with the Fantastic Four movie with Pedro Pascal-C, and that's what I'm saying. He had more like projects in the chamber. He didn't have to be like that. But anyway,
He got wildly popular for The Last of Us as well.
well, yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's from what I hear, as
Well,
much as
we-
deserved. I still haven't seen it.
I think it's. I first became aware of him
It's
for
phenomenal.
Game of Thrones.
I did
Mhm.
too. I did too.
Mhm. He
You
was
killed my
great.
sister.
Yes, Inigo Montoya in Game
Yeah.
of Thrones.
Exactly. That's what I thought of. Like, and you killed my
Oh,
father.
look
Yeah.
at that.
Say her name is what he kept. That's what I remember.
That was a great scene.
It was.
Okay. Apparently J Bug jumped in.
Hey,
Hey everyone, I hope
J-Bug.
everyone is having a great day. Right on, right on.
miss you, brother.
Yes, we do.
Hey, I didn't bash them punk untwist your boxers. Lord Beers.
It's funnier when it was read out.
Right. Lord Beers, Bug, we missed you around. Beers, Shadow and Merlin, code meow meow omega purr.
You leave the cats out of this. This is between us.
right on, right on.
Summoning
gamer.
ritual.
Bug, miss you, man. J Bug, oh God of destruction, I've missed you all. I've been super busy since summer and finally simmering down since school will start again. By the way, forget Sony and Xbox, just money hungry and it sucks 100%. 100% agree.
Yes,
Uh,
1000%. And I
gamer.
understand the whole summer with
Oh, you're gonna catch
with the
these
kids.
ants. That's what you're referred to. I didn't know you said
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Lord Beerus, hopefully you can rejoin the panel soon, Boog. We need your insight. 100% yes.
Yes, we
Beerus,
do.
you're lucky this is a family show and I made a promise to someone geek. Otherwise, I would answer that statement like a real diabolical nasty punk. Oh my gosh, you too.
I know, kitty cat.
J Boog, I'm hoping to jump on after August 13th. LOL, good job
Wow.
holding back, Beerus. It's all good. It's all a good thing to keep a level head. Yes, this is very true. Gamer.
Don't side with him, Boog.
Yes. A logic needs you back. What's that? A logic?
My phone was auto-correcting.
Gotcha.
like
I was gonna say I
crazy.
knew I had to do something. It's like,
Ugh.
right, all right. That's all right.
It did.
You're
That's
saying
like the third
bug.
time it's done that to me. We definitely need you back, though.
Yeah. Gamer. Beerus, you attacked my tailor. You made me mad. I'm not scared of you. Beerus, I love how like you guys are like commenting, attacking each other, and then like you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
And we go back and talk to her.
Yeah. Beerus, yeah, Bug. I respect this being family friendly. Plus, I made someone special a promise to behave a bit better, so I am a god of honor. A god of honor.
Can you be
He-
more than
he is a-
one?
he
Can
is
you
a
be
god
a
of honor.
god? Can you be a god of honor and god of destruction at the same time, or
I
are
think
they
you can.
mutually exclusive?
I think you can.
I think Beerus is he is one. He's honorable, and he's a god of destruction. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the guy
Fair
during the tournament. His hands are super huge. He was very principled, and he was a god of destruction. So
Okay,
yeah.
answers my question then.
Gamer, but you're a good man that keeps promises, which I appreciate. But I'm still mad about the tailor bashing. Beerus,
Truthfully.
get on a ladder and say it to my face, shorty geek. Uh-oh, shots fired. Beerus, Canada, not Canada. Oh, fluff off geek.
First of all, it's Canada because it sounds better and funnier, and also
It really
yourself.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
It really does.
Wash.
I said it's
Bashing.
Canadian kitty cat.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep, Victor.
It wasn't washing bashing. That was another one of the autocorrects. I was trying to say it wasn't bashing, and it said washing bashing because my iPhone's got jokes.
Yeah. Doctor Who sounds like an owl with a medical degree. That's how you make a pun, geek. Oh my goodness. Wasn't.
That's
I'm on
so
my
bad.
phone and it's autocorrecting. I don't care. Quit being a punk. That wasn't a good pun at all, darling. Oh boy. Here we go. It's dope that you think that, geek. Bless your heart, sugar biscuit. Oh my God. Beignets. I want to make beignets now. Again with Leon. He did that on purpose. Leon's VA on the PS1
Voice actor.
version. Yeah. Oh, okay. Voice actor on the PS1 version was better anyways. That's how it usually goes.
I never said anything about the voice actor. You're just mad because I think that the remake version of Leon Kennedy is hot, and I want to have his babies. And that's what you got mad about. And I'm not talking about the face model and all that other stuff. He's a puny little guy. I'm talking about Leon Kennedy himself.
Right on. And I've got a question for Beerus. Do you prefer Dragon Ball Z with the Ocean dub, or do you prefer the current dub that they went with? Let me know. Oh, please, you always choose the remakes anyway over the OG. You're spoiled with remake graphics and mechanics. I'm already
true.
on to you and your propaganda.
Propaganda.
Propaganda. Oh, well
I was trying
done.
to say propaganda, but
Right. But I
Yeah.
think
that was a good pun. See, that's how you do it. Unlike that
Okay, see,
cringy dad joke you tried to pull off.
Now I gotta look up how do you spell that.
Like
'Cause I'm
I can
pretty
just see
sure.
you with like shorts up to your chest, like Urkel with
Yeah.
Oh my god.
freaking soccer
We
socks
won't-
on that go to your knees, and
Suspenders.
yes,
Urkel. I miss that guy.
trying to talk with that last one. That was awful. You're better than that, kitty cat.
All right, we're gonna skip down. Hold on.
Oh god,
to-
Smurfette versus the Empire State Building. It's okay. You
Let's
can read
see.
the one that I told him,
All right.
little punk. And then I shut it down because I was like, we can't fill the chat with our banter.
Dang. Okay. So Beer said I prefer the Funimation dub. God dang it. All right. Right on. Agree to disagree. Because I thought Vegeta and Goku too, but Vegeta he had a fantastic voice actor, and it kills me a little bit that I don't know his actual name. But anyway, but it says So he answered you, Nas. He said, gods are allowed to be multiple god titles according to Zeno. Dope.
All right.
Sure, it's always someone else's fault, including her phone.
Oh, Beerus.
He says, Geek is not a human torch. She's a fluffy, tiny little plushy doll that you just want to squeeze and cuddle because she's so cute. All right.
I'm like a Sour Patch Kid. I can be sweet
Okay.
and sour.
He's
You know.
trying for the natural blush. That's what he's trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. So we've reached the bottom of the comments. Do you guys have any final thoughts on what we discussed today?
No, I'm hoping that, like, yes, I want fair pay for our voice actors for sure, without a lot of greed involved, but I don't see that ever happening.
Right.
And I don't know. I really hope that there's not a strike that really hurts us as gamers.
Yeah.
But there's just so much going on lately that hurts us as gamers, especially like pricing and talking about ads. If you put ads in that stuff, Microsoft, I swear to God, you'll never get my money again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, I draw the line
Mm-hmm.
at my consoles having freaking ads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So
That's fair. Beerus, final thoughts.
Well,
Good sir.
I don't know. What does Beerus have to say? Or do you mean me?
Oh, I meant nah. Sorry.
It's like I
That's so
said,
great.
it's such a nuanced issue that you can't. I understand the temptation to want to look at this strike and look at it and say it's one group's fault. It's never that way.
no.
Never that way. There's always
Absolutely.
more that we don't see. And trying to understand all of it, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes a lot of reading, and it takes a level head to just think, okay, what am I reading and who's telling me this and why are they telling me this? What's their intention?
Yeah.
Right? It's
That's
so,
exactly right too.
Yeah, there's just so much more to it that we don't see. And during this time, you're going to have both groups that are vying for support from the public
That's
to
right.
put pressure on the other side. It always happens every single time. No one's completely right. No one's completely wrong. Even though we always want to see the world in black and white because it's
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. You don't have to think about
And
it.
don't put ads in games. Don't do that. It's stupid.
Yeah.
I will be
Yes.
mad at you if you do. Although I'll just continue with indie and retro. That could last me for a lifetime.
Yeah,
More than
100%.
one
Yeah.
lifetime.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So
Well,
Right on.
I mean, like, they push my buttons, I'll go straight Nintendo.
Right on.
Mm.
And the Switch is right on the horizon too. They better watch
Oh, yeah.
the behinds.
I
They
mean,
better watch it.
I love playing. I have 2 Switches, put it that way.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, I love playing games, and I love Nintendo. If you jump on my shelf, I'll kill you.
there's so many good games out there that are in the process of being made.
Mhm.
There's more than enough. You might
Yeah.
not think so, but you just have to look a little bit.
Yeah.
And they are high quality, polished games that are not being made by AAA studios.
That's right.
I watched 4 trailers on my Wednesday stream,
Yeah.
and I want to play each of those games. They all look like fun.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
all very different from each other.
Very
Well,
cool.
I mean, I still have old consoles. I'll whip them out and
yeah.
play games. Like,
on.
I mean, I'm not hurting for games.
Right.
I like, you know, like Beerus is right. Like, I do love the new graphics and mechanics and stuff of games. Like, but I think that's my art background. Like, all I ever wanted to do was art and graphic design and do animation and stuff like that. So like those catch my eye.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and I really enjoy that, and I like the newer storytelling and stuff. So he's absolutely right. I do get kind of seduced, for lack of a better word, by that stuff. So I like the new stuff. But you give me original Donkey Kong Country, and I'm still gonna play that probably for like 50 hours.
Right on.
You know,
Yeah.
That remake
Oh, yeah.
looks so mean though.
like in a short, like in a week.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I will be all over it. I can beat the game, go right back and play it, and be like, let me see if I can get this, or let me see if I can do it this way.
Right on. Right
And it's always been that way. Like, you know,
Like none of us are slaves to
yeah.
AAA studios.
That's right.
Let's not act like we are.
100%. Right on. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and we'll end this thing. we'll end this thing. Very good.
Thank you,
Both-
everybody, for tuning in and hanging
Yeah.
out with us and for joining in chat and all that. So
Yes,
we appreciate
everyone.
you guys.
Yeah, right on.
And okay, bye, everybody.
Bye. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
I am so sorry for cutting you off, GG. But first and foremost, thank you to our panel for their thoughtful and intelligent analysis. Happens every time. We have such a good group here. I'm very proud of what we've built. And if you want to catch them on their various socials, all of that will be in the description. While you're down there, you can check us out too. But last but certainly not least, the reason for the season, the viewers. Thank you so much for showing up. There would be no reason for us to get up in the morning and do this if you guys didn't make us a part of your day. So we really, really appreciate that. You can catch us next Saturday, same time. But until then, keep it casual. Peace.